There's always some thing they found the edge. It's just not how it works. But technically, I mean, if you look at this, 40 weeks, this goes all the way up till August 14. Okay. So we still got four, five, six. What's it? So that's 8 months. So we are four now, four more to go for this 40 weeks to end, and then we'll see how, where we are and how the rest of the weekly candles will fill for the next 4 months from here is is we're gonna see. This is a pretty darn strong close, you know. So if we look at them through the data, um, just where the heck it went. 0.42% year to date. Semis 21. Qs flat. Transports 3.8. Small caps 6. Dow flat. Consumers discretionary still down. Healthcare 4. Utilities 10. Real estate 6. Consumer staple 6. Technology flat. You see? So this dip that we just looked at them, we just literally sitting right back to the flat. And it feels like we're just starting a new year now from January 2nd. That's exactly where we're sitting right now. Which is flat. Industrial 10, financials down 7, energy is down 20, up 27, communication is 3, down 3, materials are 14. It's still at the same time, if you look at them, it does look like the market is still more the toward the defensive side, right? Because if you look at the main sectors, okay, is where all the generals are sitting, is in here, communication. You have a Meta, Google, and Netflix, right? Financials, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and all the other ones, right? Tech, that's what all the generals are. This one right there, you have Amazon and Tesla. So these three is where all the generals are. And the market only moves and sells off based on the generals. They roll over, this takes a hit, this takes a hit, is going to take this one with her. So when we look at them now, this one, right? And then we go back to the generals. Let's go to the daily, no, go to a weekly time frame. Netflix is up. Tesla down 26, down. Nvidia flat, down. Microsoft 24, down. Meta 5, down. Google up 1, down. Amazon 2.5, down. Apple down 4.73, down. You see? Now, if you look at the rotation here on a weekly time frame, there is a potential here in a Microsoft. Okay, so I posted this thing yesterday. If you saw it, I don't like that at all. This just not a. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we can look at here. Well, this one was got a huge move up. I closed that trade here. I mean, I still have those shares that I bought them back here, 195. Never sold that. Never selling those. Um, yeah, just ripped through this. Oh, this is the pivot, the resistance. That's what the initial pop that we just got, and that's when I sold this one, and well, this one ended up going even more. Should have held something, but it's okay. I got shares will make up the rest of the difference, so it really doesn't matter. That's a good trade. I made like I don't know 1,873 bucks or whatever at the open. So I mean $1,900. I'll take it. Um, might get a little bit of a dip. I'm definitely gonna buy another, do another spread. This thing is it's gonna go. Looks very clean read on this one. So we'll just oops, watch this one to see where it kind of like gets a little bit of a breather. This as a broken resistance will act as a support, this area right there. So kind of like 350-ish. So we're at 371. Think any kind of a set, I don't know where thing is gonna end. Right there, this zone right there for this wave two. If the price do kind of set back a little bit, just trying to pick this one to see and write this one up again with another spread. I'll do that. It's just a good stock, very good company. I really like this one. So choppy move, like nothing really. I mean, how can you even count this as something like this? It's not such a thing like this. Just overlap. Just look at the price action here. Just too much um, whipsaws back and forth. That's why strong companies, that just is good to have this. This is what you call a nice, clean trend. You know, with gaps and stuff, it's just when the price really accelerates. You see, look at the gap here, little bit gap down here, another gap here. You see, that's just how third wave accelerates because it's more directional wave, It goes, it goes. Corrections are always going to be this, go sideways, go like this. It's always going to be hard to hard to trade. There's too many whipsaws, wastage of time and like money, especially because you're trying to predict, the fight the correction to see like, okay, it had this huge move. Now, if you just look at them from this April low, the stock rallied 200% to the upside, right? So it rallied 200%. Well, it's gonna has to take a breather at some point or somewhere, and it gave back only 30%. But it rallied 200%. I mean, at the same time, like, when price is coming down, you're always thinking like, oh man, I think I might as well, but I'm just get used to it, to be honest. I just look at a bigger picture. It's like, you know what? Company is great. Okay. There's nothing be worried about, this kind of a company. You rally and like, okay, let's go from here, 111%. 111% with a setback of 30%. And look how much is it off now from the highs? 10%. You know? So, eh, yeah, but this just, those emotions kicks in, it just like one guy is showing like I'm making this much buying puts and who knows what he's holding and it just so much noise that the people just get caught on those. Oh, this guy is doing good. He's throwing bunch of trades in and he's just winning left and right and this and that. It's just like, those different, like those kind of a thoughts and stuff. It just, I care less. I mean, I always worry about what I have and how I'm gonna play the next move. So it just, I'm not worried about it's the bottom line is this, that no one, it's not like you never seen a dip before. And it's not like there's not going to be another one here. I will guarantee you it's going to be another 10% dip here. I wouldn't say guaranteed, but I would say after another cycle starts, there will going to be another 10% setback. It's going to come. It's going to come well under his term several times, you know? But most people want this to happen. Like basically like year after year. Every time when the price makes a new high, they expect this to happen. Next, 40 weeks, 10, 40 weeks, 10, 40 weeks, 10, 40 weeks, double the move down. Not 10, went to 20. 40 weeks, 10. You see what this market is doing? It resumes this is 4 or 5 year chart. This is from this bear market low of 2022 right there, 34.91 on October 14 of 2022. We're at 26. You know, it's just sitting like, oh, this here goes the U, here goes the we, you know. This market has upside. Why it has upside is only because when you start looking at things on a bigger time frame, this one is gonna show you the where is my the this this market has upside to go. My long-term target in S&P is 9,500, and it's gonna get there. I'm pretty I'm pretty positive. Okay. That's my long-term target on the S&P is 9,500. I know I'm not talking about a yearly targets and stuff that most people lay out, but the Tommy has a target of 7,300 is right here. Okay, he's calling a bottom in for the year, and we should rally from here. That's his target is 7,300. But this is the quarterly chart though, so don't it's a very long term um, the price the swings and the percent the with the time and the price and the swings, it's gonna have a long way to go. Okay, but it'll get there. I even had I don't know if you I do I don't know, I know a bunch of you guys follow me on Twitter as well. I'm a little active these days, I don't know, but it's gonna stop. Not too many freebies. Um the what it is, this is a credit crisis low of 666 back on what 2009, right? So from 2009, don't look at it's not like we had several setbacks here. Okay, I mean, this is just you're looking at a quarterly bar that open and close um, every three months. So there's a lot of dips. There's a lot of dips here as well. You see, there's a 21% decline. But when you look at them on a bigger time frame, it's not gonna see that. The the main key that you have to pay attention to is where the actual swing turn the direction. That's where your major pivot point turn comes in play. It's where the direction of the swing flips. It hasn't flipped there, even the fact that with a 21% decline. But it flipped here when we had a 3/4 of lower lows. Okay, though these are the major market turning points. Okay, those when a swing turns a direction, okay, that becomes your pivot point. That low right there is going to get marked until the swing turns direction on the opposite side. If it's down, then it's looking for swing to turn up. It will turn up at some point. It's not going to be down forever. You know that, right? So whatever the low is going to be, and then the price has to turn around, start making higher highs to resume a trend back up. If it doesn't do that, if it comes right back toward the pivot, it breaks the pivot and then it's going to accelerate even more to the downside, is looking for it to form another pivot. So just because the direction of the swing is down again, so the turning point is where the pivot forms on a chart. So the credit crisis low is this: rally 25 quarters, 220% upside. Okay, so from 666 went up to 2,134. Here comes the 3/4. Each 1 year has 4 quarters, right? So for 3/4, the stock has made 3 lower lows. And it has a lot of bounces in there as well for several months. But you just focus on what the the quarterly high was and the low was. So it came back down in three to 15.2% dip. Even the fact this was 21, but the swing didn't flip because it was only two. You need another one, right? But then what happens next quarter? It rips right back up. So this is the turning. The lower point was 1810, which was 15.2. So when you take a distance travel from here, projected from this, it gives you a 200% extension to the upside at 47.45. Market put a high here of 48.18. It can go up a little bit more. It's okay. But that was your target, 47.45. Using this high and this low swing, when you're just using extension to the upside, is to project the upside. What will be, doesn't mean it's going to get there for sure, but these are the projections. It's smart. It's the same thing. The company has lays out earnings for the quarter, and then they say like, okay, these are the projections for the next quarter. They don't know that. It's the same thing here as well. You're projecting a price to the upside, but is it going to get there? Okay, it can, or it might fall short, or you're never going to get there. But you just using that thing based on the previous swing high and low to see what what will be my upside target. That's how you set your upside targets on whatever that we trade. I was like, okay, I'm looking at this price. I always say like, okay, we're looking for this pivot to break. When that pivot breaks, then I will say like, okay, then I will run extension to the upside to see like, okay, we can open more upside now. Same thing to the downside. Downside pivot breaks. Now we're looking for extension to the downside. Well, downside always going to be nasty because it's always going to come down pretty fast. You go up in stairs, you come down in elevators. It's the same. It's the same kind of same concept. So anyway, so you take the swing high, swing low, 200% extension is a 47.45. Market hit 48.18, rolled over for 3 quarters. Again, for 27.5% setback. That was a setback, was an October low. Even the fact that this was COVID right here, 2020. You see the huge volatility spike, the whole world kind of shut down things. But that was not a turning point for the market, though. That happened here. One, two, three. 3 quarters of lower lows. This becomes 3, 3. See? This one was 27.5% setback. So I'm focused from here to here, following this. So I have, what I'm trying to tell you, when you trying to make your charts, you want to make a wave count, you want to look at your swings, you want to look at anything, you have to start from a higher time frame and then you work your way down. Okay. If you just sit in and fighting your life over a 1 hour chart, you're not going to go anywhere because you don't even know what your bigger picture is. What are you trying to target? What you're trying to achieve to the upside? Okay. It's like reading a book. Okay. A book is written from chapter 1. It goes up all the way to chapter 30th. Right. But you trying to read a book from a chapter 15 and you say like, okay, I'm going to go end the book in the chapter 30th. But you're missing out of the first 15 chapters. But you start right in the middle. It's the same concept when you start attacking these smaller time frame. You go to the 4 hour chart, high, low, and this is the one. And you want to throw thousands of dollars up on the board because you just say like, okay, I can hit this trade that, I can get lucky either with a big order flow that I got caught a news, upgrade this and like it's a very different mindset that you have toward the like how you wanted to trade. One or two lousy contract I can throw randomly left and right. That's not a problem. When you wanted to actual want to trade, say like, hey, I want to take a swing, and what my bigger picture is, and then if you have shares, yeah, you have all the time in the world. But then with the option side is when the clock is ticking, you know, the volatility, the negative theta is just, we need that move to happen as quick as possible. Just watching every single move. Then we say like, okay, screw it. I don't want to go short time. I'll go 6 months. But you have 6 months, right? It's not like you cannot open another position and stuff. But you just like sitting and watching every single session, every 15 minutes candle, how it opens and closes. The same, why would you do to yourself, first of all, like this? Like you so emotionally attached to the price that every little candle opens and closes. You just like literally babysitting every single one of them. But at the same time, about 6 months worth of time. 6 months. A world can this entire world just got changed in a matter of like 2 weeks with this stupid war. I want to buy leaps, okay, but then you just want to babysit every single session. I mean, I understand nobody is happy looking at a down board. Nobody is. It's just a fact. We're all humans. I know we all have feelings, we all have emotions and things like nobody's happy. Nobody was happy here. Nobody was happy here. Nobody was happy here. Here, people got flushed out. Nobody got happy here. I mean, this moving average and stuff, fine, we can use them as a hint. It doesn't mean that this is the line in the sand. How many times it broke here? Rebounded, broke, oh, the close is below here, or the death cross just appears, and it's just a massive technical indicator now that the last time we had a rollover like this and the market dropped like another 100% to the downside and this and this. And I don't know how some people actually even look at the chart, you know? It just pay attention first thing, start getting used to reading a blank chart, okay? Always start with a blank chart. I always do that. I have, four monitors in front of me. This is my top monitor that I'm showing you. It's like every time when I look at a chart, I always look at, okay, this is the blank chart, right? What do I see here? I can scroll back. Now I'm at buy all the way down to 1950. But at the same time, don't forget, nobody, okay, can can be able to trade every swing and every move in the market. That doesn't happen. It never will. You know, people like, oh, I call on the top. I exited all my longs positions because I know there's a dip coming. You don't know that. A guy has been screaming about tops in the last 6 months, and all of a sudden the market put a top right there, and here got a pullback. Oh, see, I'm told you. I've been on cash ever since the market is going to roll over. Okay, so you've been sitting here and you give up all this much upside, and you right here now. That's your call. That's what you call a call. You liquidate everything here after this move, okay, thinking like, oh yeah, I just went all cash here. Your market just rip right back on your face again. But you still talk calling like, oh no, this is the top right there. But you happen to get this dip. So see, I told you that I've been sitting on cash ever since. See, it's all bullshit talk. Nobody knows these tops and bottoms. They never exist in the real world. It's a blank chart. What do we see? Simple, like when I look at them like this, it just I look for major dips in the market. When does it happen? And how often? And then you start drawing your time and see like, okay, how often does it happen? Your upside is always going to be last longer, anyways, always. And a stock, an index, anything, your upside always going to have. Um, you don't come down 50%, because then you have, and then you go up another 30%, then you roll over again and things, you have a massive downside. Yeah, stocks, there are plenty of them like that. There's another one, just looked at them yesterday. I was like, geez, I used to trade this stock. Look at this stock, team. This stock used to be in $483 stock. Now the stock is trading at $57. It's a massive reset, you know? Now we go back here all the way down to 2016. Look at this upside. This is like a go back in a bigger time. On a weekly time frame, like if you see right there, this is a huge setback on the stock against this move. But it's a huge uh, the one higher higher degree reset. Okay, that's why it's 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 a painful one because it's getting bigger and bigger. It's gonna find support somewhere here, and then it's gonna have to work his way up, and it's gonna take years and years to do that. Some of these companies, they're just taking a huge leg down. This is how I look at them as a blank chart. I don't have to, I mean, drawing labels and things like this, that's a different thing. That's Adobe, same thing. These these software company stocks that we're looking at is where this is where the AI came into a play, right? Right there. That's basically for these software names, that AI pump that this stock had, because they don't have any earnings to prove that time. It was all noise about AI, this and this, because markets are always forward looking, correct? So the bigger names are pushing higher, and so does the smaller ones are getting join the party as well, right? They don't have those earnings and the cash flow to support that case. They're like, okay, yes, we are the ones that's gonna attract the most customers, right? Even the fact that they're the one who's running after these bigger ones, like, hey, sign me up. I want to be with you. As you can see, like how many companies they're just like, they wind up going with the bigger company. Like, take example of ServiceNow. ServiceNow CEO was, remember a couple months ago was the sitting with the NVIDIA. We've been a partners with them now, and this and that, and so, 'cause they know that by themselves they cannot pull it off. They need funding as well, and bigger companies are the ones has all the money. Like these declines that you're looking at them here, this year for these software names is a huge setbacks on a higher time frame. That's why these big massive corrections are getting steeper and steeper, because some of them can be turned into a C wave. That's where the decline is coming. Either or you can just make a case of WXY. It really doesn't matter. Okay, so technically what it is you have a low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so it doesn't mean that like these stock not gonna be end up uh, going up again. Of course, I mean they will, but it's just a matter of right now. It's just catching a falling knife, right? So yeah, we have tools and stuff, and I'm gonna, like I was looking at, just like yesterday, I was just like looking at a bunch of names and stuff. It's like, here's Ziegler. We killed this. I know this. I've nailed, like, what was last year? We nailed these moves to the upside. Look at how much the stock, where the stock is right now, 118, coming toward this. There's a gap right there as well. These stocks are on a major reset right now. See right there? All of them like that. The software, I mean, they could, the way they are, I would say probably like end of mid like Q3, I would say probably like they might recover a little bit toward the end of the year. That's how I see them. You know, they just take in like look at Salesforce, you know. Look at this move. It's a huge setback here, right? And then you have this. So when you look at a blank chart, where do you see the two biggest drawdown? One is here and one is here. It doesn't, rest of them are just like dips, like, just like depends how market traded, market will market sold off offshore, or all the stocks will follow the suit as well. Depends where the rotation came. If rotation flipped over here, that's when the stock will start to lose momentum, things like this. Like these stocks right now, they are losing a lot of momentum to the upside. When you have a cycle curve like this, okay, this is what you call loss of momentum right there. This curve. Now you got this throwover this week, right? The last 100 times I'm gonna tell you these high and lows right there doesn't mean that this is the high and low. Cycle does not give you high and low. Price does, not cycle. So stop comparing and thinking like, yeah, this is a cycle mid, and no, mid is where the mean reversion is gonna the mean revert happens. That's where the mid is. Cycle it's a time wrapped around the price. The two different things. Cycles never defines top and low. Never. Structure does. Market structure, swings. This. This is the actual read of the price. Not this, like, okay, yeah, this is the low. Okay, well, why the stock is right now at 163, this was a low. It's because it's moving, it's updating constantly because it's collecting data for bar to bar. So where is my the read on the swing is on a chart. 174.57 was the low, which was 35% dip. Market rally, the swing went up 17.3, which was for 2 weeks, B2. Now it's down 4 weeks, down another 20%. You see, because it's constantly making lower highs and lower lows. So the only time, I don't know where the low is, whenever the price will reverse, it has to take out this low, this this high right there. Then from there, what you say, then you look for this. Continuation from here, you look for this. But that time it will update as well because it updates every week. Not that much, but slightly. But that just doesn't, you can't just sit and like, oh, I want to buy 267, I want to buy 218. That's just dumb. I want to buy the upside. I want to target this first because I want to make sure the price takes out this high first. Then I will worry about the upside. The direction of the swing has to turn first in order to make the case for the upside. You currently right now we're fighting the low. Where the heck is a damn low? I don't know. The low is going to be what, 150, 134, 130, 150, 100? Who knows? So this is curve like these stocks. See, this is the weekly. It's the most important time frame. You see all these curves right there? See? I don't like this. This is Microsoft.
Good morning, Mo.
Yo,
And one thought on like the fundamental side, like this is the worst that the AI will ever be
Yeah,
today. It's only exponentially getting better every day. And some of these stocks will survive or do well down the road, but it's way too early to know. And they're not growing at the speed that, Anthropic or OpenAI or whoever is computing at. So you got to be very defensive for this sector.
correct. As I said, I mean, the only name that I would interested in or buy is Microsoft, the top leader. It doesn't mean that Microsoft cannot come down more. Of course it can. But this is the stock that you start off with, you know?
But
I
but but Microsoft does look bad. Like in
correct.
for the Mag 7 or Mag 8, whatever you want to say, it is one of the weakest.
Because it's getting punished because of all the other software names.
Yeah, yes, and their exposure to OpenAI, which is
Correct.
lagging right now. Yeah.
Yes. So basically, right now, the market is telling to all of these companies, you want to go out and spend money, we're going to punish you. Okay? That's what it is. Because Microsoft went pretty heavy, right? And it's that's why stock is down 23, 24% year to date right now. Microsoft has to hold this, just to let you know, first of all. This. This is a last year low, which is the April low. So if this dips below 344, right away, okay, then you're gonna think like, okay, you know what? Now Microsoft has a lower yearly bar. As soon as you're gonna take out the previous year low. So once it breaks, it can bounce, gives a fall, and then it's gonna roll over, make more room to the downside. That's your pivot.
So Mo, if it breaks that this year, whenever,
Correct.
would you think, like, looking out the next 1 to 2 years, that um, increases or reduces the chances of it rallying stronger?
It depends like how the price shifts.
Responds, yeah.
Correct. Because we watch this, okay? Because of the price is, you see, like it's down for 12 weeks, okay? B12, 27.2%. Okay, this one was down 23%, right? That was the April low. If we just look at, just pay attention to the swings, then rallied up for 16 weeks, 61%. Set back for 5, rallied back up for 8. So the number of bars, number of weeks. So we're right here. This thing is curving, as you can see. Okay. I mean, I know earnings are coming. Okay. I have a pretty good feeling. I think Microsoft is going to hold until the earning time. Earning is the one is going to either flush it out or is going to try to make a move back up somehow. But in order for to turn up, we still need at least the swing to turn up, right? Because we only have 2 bars, I believe. No, one. That's the low. So it needs 2 more weeks of higher highs for this 9 to appear like this again. But at the same time, as you can, what happens if the bar if the swing turns up, see it turns up here as well. Look at how it went for the month and a half. See, no upside, not like this. A swing can turn, but it needs to continuation. Basically, what it is like a swing turns up from here. It takes time, take another setback, but basically what it is, it has to go out and take out this swing high. that's when the price accelerates to the upside. You need to take out the previous swing high or low. That's the main objective. That's the main key point, turning point for a price. Right now at this point this is the April low. This is the last year low. So if it flushes down, okay, take out this, we will know right away it has a lower year. The year just went, the yearly bar went negative, right? Which is right there. I can show you. Here. But now if you look at this, Microsoft ended the year last year with the massive engulfing candle. I wouldn't be surprised that this sucker is not going to take out this low this year. This is just, it's not good. I always talk about this, especially at the very top, you know? So if Microsoft do end up taking a punishment this year, we have Apple and Nvidia is going to do the work, to make up the difference for this, because this is the drag right now of the software names across the board. And I showed you that how many of those software names that taken such a huge reset on a higher time frame, and is all coming this year. You know, so I mean, we'll we'll try to see if we can play something when the rotation, things like this will lines up. Try to play a counter trend move or something, but if you are under the impression thinking like, well, I want to buy something and I want to buy for a long hold and this and that, I don't think the beating has finished yet, because there's no signs yet. And when rotation improves, that's when we see like, okay, here you go, here comes a big player is now coming into these names. People talking about Microsoft has been the weakest and this and this and this. Well, we just looked at them. Apple is kind of, on a flat line, Nvidia, all the Google and stuff. And here we have Microsoft is down almost 23%. Look how it ended the year last year. You see the point that I'm trying to make? Look at the bigger picture. Then you work your way down to a smaller time frame. Structure built on a higher time frame, weekly, monthly, these kind of a time frame. And then from there, you work your way up or down. Depends on what you're looking at. Now, if you look at the Microsoft chart, since January of 2010, this sucker hasn't even had a single lower year. Don't you think it's due for one? Think about it. Show me one red bar since 2010 that it took out the previous year low.
Excuse me, Mo.
Yes.
So if you try to do a retracement with Fibonacci on this chart, where do you start? Is it from that low and you're in, or
You can
come
take
closer?
You can take a last year high and low. I mean, I've done it. I showed you this one yesterday. Hang on, let me show you a wave. I was looking at it yesterday. Where the heck did I go? Here. This is coming down really clean now in the 5 waves. This is a pretty good thing that's going to happen. This is the low that we're talking about, 344, which is the last year low, correct? Now look at this wave count here. So we have 5 down, 3 up. And then from here, You have 1, 2, clean 5 within this 3, up in 4, that came at right in this zone. It's a typical fourth wave, made another lower low toward this. Nice fight in here. Now the question is, can it manage to bounce here? Sure it can, right? Now we looked at the swing highs and lows. So based on this, if this does come, bounces back up, but at the same time, we know how the weekly is declining, right? The bend there on that time cycle, right?
Yeah.
So right now, based on that, I can only make a case of a fourth wave,
Okay.
right? You cannot, because swing is down. That's one thing, right? Rotation is not showing a positive sign either. You have a bend right there on a time cycle. So you see, like, you have to connect these dots together to see, like, okay, what I'm actually looking at, right? So these are the different tools that you're applying to see, like, okay, that's what I said. Like, if the price does pop right there, it will, there's a pretty good chance it's going to fail somewhere around here. Then another flush down comes in, unless it goes this way, fine. But it has to stay above this low, you know?
Okay.
Because here hasn't got a one single lower year ever since 2010. And look how it ended last year with the freaking outside engulfing candle. Can it manage to hold this low? And then it can end up going up again and take out 557. Anything is possible, but it is pretty darn close toward this low here. It's trying. So now if you look at the other names, ZS, you see, lower yearly bar. It already took out this last year low. Okay, these stocks are done for basically for the year. The doggy, I'm watching this one is still lingering in between this previous range. You see, last year high right there, outside bar, and we nailed that trade last year. I had a very good trade on this one. I've rode some of these names really good to the upside. Because I was looking at this continuation. You see, like here, 2 down years. Remember the rule of the swing. Three
Yeah.
down year turns the swing down. You see what here?
Yes.
Third become defensive. Look, higher year. These are very good bets that you could make on a stock. The stocks with the 2 down year. The third is the defensive year, okay, for the price. And the bigger the companies are, the harder they fight just to hold that low because your yearly flips down, then you need 3 more years to go back up. You see, it's going to throw you off quite a bit. So it's some names are kind of scary, to be honest. I mean, look at Costco. Okay, since 2010, not a single down year. Look how darn close this stock came to the last year low. Look at that. Look at the low right there. And then it pops, you see? Some of these stocks are gonna be, they're not gonna go up forever. Okay, so stop getting obsessed with these smaller time frames. Look at the bigger picture. Then work your way down. You're gonna make much better decision. You're gonna stay in the trade longer. You are gonna have your emotions in control because you are trading, not the noise. You're trying to establish a position based on what exactly what my high and lows are based off last year, last month, last quarter. Bigger the time frames is, better the signals are, better the rotation is. Everything gets much better and better and better as soon as you're going to start going to a higher time frame. As soon as you're going to come up to a daily time frame, that's where you're going to see a bunch of whipsaws left and right. Wicks. This is where the noise is. Look at that flush rate yesterday. You know, the same thing. This stock has a very strange personality. Okay, Costco. It always trade this way. And every stock that you're gonna see is gonna have their own personality the way they trade. It rips, it rips. You look from here. So it went from here to here. Okay, there's not a single lower bar. And look at the flush. See? So when it comes down, look at that, not a single green bar. It's a very strange stock, how it trades. I watches it. There's many, there are plenty more are in the same way as well. You know, they drag, they just come down hard. They go up, they just go up hard. You know, so you just again, you know, the point is like some of these stocks are, I don't know. I mean, I cannot say like, well, these are the tops. It can continue for another year, 2, 3, 4 years. There's nothing wrong with this company. Their hot dogs are still $1.50 with the pop. But it's just like if you look at some of these names, how much they have extended. Like this is from 2017, Eli Lilly hasn't had a single down year ever since. Great company, right? Had the leader of the healthcare in a sector with the most market cap, market weight. Some stocks are very well extended. See, Apple had few, you know, down here, but it has a continuation since 2017. It's all higher highs. But then if from 2010, if you look at them, we just looked at a Microsoft, correct? Microsoft, which haven't had a single down lower bar since the 2010, Apple had two of them. You know, so you just look at the, you know, like just what I'm trying to show you is like, look at the bigger picture. We can just do the generals and I'm going to move on to another slide. I'll show you some other stuff. Let's start with I have a list, Tesla, right? What Tesla did? 2 down year. See, defensive year, 2014, ripped all the way back up, made a new high. Same thing here, another higher high. And now is in an inside bar so far. So it's still got a long way to go for the year, right? So the question is it gonna go inside for the year? Because last year low for Tesla is this, 214. So if this thing breaks, it's gonna, you know, that would make 1 year. It's gonna the candle the bar will turn red. So the range right now is this. Last year high is this. Last year low is this. We just only focus on the current year. Okay. But the point is what I'm gonna, you know, as I said, is to see two down bars. I've made a lot of bets on stocks over the years, okay, that I played these stocks like big, you know, the point that I'm trying to make is like third year, third month, third week, third day, okay, depends on what time frame is, okay. The GAN swing, bigger the companies are, they becomes very defensive. They don't just give up that fast. Okay, they fight like you want, you know. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so just we keep going for now. We'll see where we at, and then I'm going to show you some other stuff. Nvidia, see, had a setback. Now, I just want you to pay attention to one thing: is we're technically looking at stuff from 2010. Okay, how much of the price, then you will then you can just have draw Microsoft in your head as well. Say like, okay, you know what? I know Microsoft hasn't had a single down year ever since. Look to from 2010, 1 and 2. See, Apple had 2, so does Nvidia. Correct? What we're trying to do is we're not trying to match price. We're trying to pay attention to the sequence. Okay, what has that happened so far, and when we can expect that what can happen next? You see my point? So we did Apple. So Apple, Nvidia had 2. So does the Nvidia and Apple does, right? So Tesla is fine. So then we go to Amazon. See, has 2 back to back. What happens? You see a rip right back up. These are the best bets that you could make, especially on the generals. It depends on the time frame, but buying shares on a second year, I think it will definitely reward you for the third year. What was it? Google, nothing. Since 2009. This one actually goes back to 2009, not 2010. You see, from 2009, it hasn't had a single down year ever since. See? Right now, the doji. So they're gonna be 1 year is gonna the punishment that Microsoft is taking. Well, one day this 1 year is gonna be a Google Studio as well. Meta down here. So if we go back to 2000, this one goes to 2012. So 2012, you got 3, 6, 9, 10. So 10 years worth of higher highs. Massive reset back here, 2022. Believe that was the October low of 2022. And then from there, 1, 2, 3. Now is an inside year so far, right? And then you go to Netflix, 2010 at 1, 2, and this year's 3. Okay, so this pig doesn't really have a lot of upside unless it reverses all the way back up. That's a different game. And can it go up to 134? Well, that's where the bar will engulf. Those are the trades of very low probability trades that you're looking for a massive reversal after taking out the low that can happen. Those are tough bets. Company is good if the earnings are strong. Yeah, I mean, the stock can turn around. If they're saying like, hey, we're looking for this for the next quarter or 2 or 3, you still got plenty of time to go for the year, but basically another 3 more quarters. So then you say like, okay, yeah, company is, yeah, for that bet to make, you have to really pay attention and know how to read the financials. Just thinking like, okay, yes, if I'm gonna go and buy $25,000, $30,000 worth of shares or whatever you want to do, okay, I'm looking for, based on the earnings and stuff, yes. So, but probability is low for reversal plays. Okay, so these are all the generals that we just looked at. So the other one is gonna do is Tesla. I posted this as well. I'm pretty sure you saw this one as well. 2022. This was the 138, which was a 24 low. 25 low, and 26 low. Okay. 138, 214, 337. So 337 is the low here. So now if we draw a trend line using this low, and this low, right? As we can see, it held. Correct? Now Tesla has 8 down weeks, not 7, 8. Okay. And the weekly RSI is at 9. So this sucker right now is completely washed out, even lower than this. This low right there was 12. This low here was 11. Now we're sitting at 9. Okay, because it's been puking for 8 weeks. On the time frame that comes out to be 2 months. So for 2 months, it's like 4 and 4 for 2 months, the stock has been making lower lows. Correct? So I want to do this. It's the line. Doesn't mean anything. Can the price dip down? Sure, it can. And then it can reverse back up. Anything can happen. The official confirmation is the close, not the running candle. It means nothing. I mean, it has the high, it has the low, but you have to wait for the close. Close defines a candle, the entire body of the candle. Now you have the open, close, high and a low and an open and a close. But the close has to happen first. Not like, okay, the price comes down next week to 330, then it pops right back up to 350. So that becomes, then it depends where it closed the week, right? That will just have a wick right there. Wicks are not the confirmation for the breakouts. The close are. There's a very big difference between them. Okay, it depends how you say. Like we always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's the same thing here on the price as well. You have to wait for the close. A price can come down to 310 next week or 300 next week. But whether the price rips right back up and closes above 340, 345 mark, and what? So that's the washout level right now the stock is at. Okay. This is just the 3 years, the red line there that we have. The close is right there, 348. Yesterday I was looking at this one. What I did yesterday, I quoted that chart to see, like, okay, what are we looking at a bigger picture? This is a monthly chart. Okay. Back to the same point. We work on a higher time frame, and then we're going to work our way down. Okay. We do it right. 4 months right here of lower lows. This little bar appears. But that happened back here in 2016. Okay. Tesla ripped 118% that time. Not all in 1 or 2 months. It took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 months. Okay. This one right there went to 4 and 5. So this is actually showing 4 because I already coded 4. If I want to change it to 5, then it's going to show 1. So the 4 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one went up to 5. This is when he was buying Twitter, remember? 101. Then you got a huge pop right there. So this time right there, again, we're looking at a monthly time frame, not something that's going to happen next week. This one rallied 194% after 5. So this is 5 and this is 4. That's why this line is actually divided in 2. 4 and 5 is here. If I do only 5, it's going to show only 1 5. Because we're going to track what is on the chart, not, like we're going to always go. It never went more than 5 ever in the history of the stock. Okay, so 5 is the max read here. Weekly is already sitting at 9 at a completely washout level. So there's definitely some sort of a pop coming. About a 1 hour signal is holding, small counter trend. I'm not like I see all this, but I was like, let's see if we can try to play a small counter trend move. I'm trying to see if I can get to 352, 355, like Monday, Tuesday, and just cash it out quick. If it dips below 338 is the invalidation on the hourly chart, I'm just going to cut the trade out quick. And we'll see what happens. But the positive is low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low.
Doesn't look like a diagonal for you.
I know. I was going to get to that. I know. That's a well freaking defined diagonal right there, though.
Yeah, that's going to be, if it goes down, it's going to go hard.
I mean, it's going to come back down to 214 minimum. That's going to be a minimum downside. This is a well-defined diagonal. So you basically, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well, this could be a 5 as well. But if you want to end this thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this diagonal is done. The only way you're gonna get the confirmation for this is to take out this low, 214. Tesla breaks 214.25. It's gonna confirm this top. That's the swing low. That's the major pivot point. The diagonals, if this ended here, this is the minimum downside target. Remember, I always tell you prior fourth wave, and this is the 2. This is the second wave. This is where the diagonal comes down to. It's the minimum retracement. The minimum retracement when the diagonal ends is always going to be a prior fourth wave. I can show you thousands of examples in Elliott Wave. And then after that, after one, if it accelerates, because it's going to break this pivot, okay, it's going to make a room back toward this. Tesla works really good with fibs. Really, really good with fibs. So this year is really a do or die year for Tesla. Just keep that thing in mind. It's a very tricky because this structure here, even the fact that it is bullish, okay, because you have a higher highs and higher lows. You see every high is higher than the previous high, and then every low is higher than the previous low. It's higher low, higher high, right? And you don't want to break this. This is the mace that pay attention to the chart really good what I'm showing you. Okay, so you don't want to break this. This is the line in the sand for this stock. Okay, that's one thing. That will mark the end of the diagonal. That I can tell you. That would mean one, that's gonna be, because there's gonna be a full reset. A, then you got the bounce here in B, then it's gonna come down another in C. Okay, so it's gonna take a larger cycle correction to the downside. Okay. As long as it holds this, and then from here, if it finds anywhere it supports here, now it has to go up and makes another higher high, but it has to hold this low, has to find support here, then make a move higher. Now I'm going to show you the fun. Then I'm going to show you the fun part. Okay. So there's a sequence here. Yeah, stocks sold off pretty hard, and see if it's gonna, try to bounce or whatever. I mean, that's all I'm trying to do is trying to play the bounce. Um, then and then we'll see what this month is already has a lower bar for the month, right? It has earnings to come. I don't really expect anything is gonna happen, right? Lower growth. They have no growth in the last 4 years, anyways. So so we'll see what happens on earnings, but we already have a down month, meaning that the price has already made a lower low for the month. So the bar ain't turning green anymore this month at all, right? It can turn blue if it's going to reverse the course, but what are the odds that I just told you before, right? So that's this. So we looked at the line and we're counting the sequence based on the lows, what has happened before that case. Now I'm going to show you this. I had that chart. I was trying to look at it, but then I delete that thing, I think. It's crazy. Now watch this. So we're going to go back to the same swings. Monthly is going to show more turns because we're looking at the monthly there. Monthly has a much much larger swings. You see, with the high and lows are pretty wide. That's a time frame, as soon as you're going to go to a smaller time frame, things will change. Doesn't make it. There you go. All right. Doesn't matter. We can do them weekly. Same thing, 101, correct? Same thing here, 101. So what we're trying to do is we're just going to pay attention to this structure right here. Okay, we don't care about this. Okay, this is our roadmap from this low, okay, to 100 to 500. Okay, I'm going to show you this. Now pay attention. So this is the low right there, correct? Watch this. Watch this. Take this high right there. See this low right there? And look at the rip right there. Okay? Now watch this. Now you take this higher high to this previous low. Look at the low. Then you take the same thing here. It comes at 275. You see what this stock is doing? This stock is actually reversing from this 78.6 over and over again with a massive upside. This time the 7.5 sitting at 275. I'm gonna start if this happens here again, I'm gonna start buying heavy. And then remember, we need to protect this. Okay. This. We're gonna buy some. I don't. There's a pretty good chance it's gonna happen. Okay. The turning point for this stock every year is 78.6. You see what happened here, and you see what happened here. That's how you track diagonals. Okay. So if we go back to 61.8, which is a pretty strong as well, 322. We haven't even tested that yet. We're at 337. Okay. It's a small window. A shareholder can easily hold this thing. I mean, option, yeah, you're gonna get your ass kicked. But it's what, 322 minus 270. That's 47 points. So 47 points, let's say you open up 50 delta trade, that's a $2,350. Let's say you buy a 320. I'm just saying, let's say you buy a 322 test, 320, 322, right? And you end up going down another 47 points down to 270, 275 retest, right? So, yeah, no, that time you end up taking whatever 47-point dip depends on this. So it's a very interesting. I was gonna post this thing, but I was like, you know what? No, this is like I'll just show you here. The turning point for this stock is this, and this is I remember I always tell you 78.6 always your last resort. That's where the decision gets made. That's when the buyers and seller really comes into a play. Either buyer's gonna push it up, or seller's gonna back it off. Market will always give you a response there at that level, because it always becomes a decision zone toward this low if it's coming down, or to the upside when it breaks. Okay. So watch this. So take a screenshot of this and save it in the folder. So then you will have it. Just what I just mark the same level on the chart, and but that doesn't matter whatever time frame is. But that level will sit there, and then you will see like, okay, if the price does eventually come back down, well, this is what well, this is what I showed you, and this is what I'm gonna act. Okay. So this is a great turning point for this stock over the years. Okay, moving on.
Oh, can you go over Palantir? It's a victim of Anthropic, and also the monthly chart looks really, really terrible.
It will be all because of the Palantir is, well, become it responded based on the war.
I also think it's one of the largest holdings of IGV.
Yeah, this is a clear diagonal here, right, from off the top. It's just, you can clearly see that. This is a diagonal here. So that considered as a five-way move. That does suggest a three-way bounce back toward this area again, and then it takes another leg down. that's just weeks and weeks away. If it's taking a punishment here for now, it might just end the year here somewhere.
Yeah, Palantir, always, hit the 160 wall in the past several weeks.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
The rejection. So this is, I mean, if you asking me toward this is, we can look at some other ways and stuff and see, do this. Oh boy. See, that's a good sign. That's a massive outside week. Ooh. Put one up here on the top. There's actually a buy signal there that actually triggered last week, but this week, and I mean, it did meet a high, but it reversed. Huh.
There was news that Anthropics is AI is seen as a competitor to Palantir's.
Yeah, this Anthropic is just gonna
Yeah,
eat.
then Michael Burry,
Yeah, what he added to puts. Yeah,
yeah, he added the new puts because he sees that the Palantir's government contract, fine, but that's small. And then, the rest of the government contract, that is Anthropic is going to eat them up.
Yeah, it basically is eating everybody lunch.
I
See,
think Anthropic was like 22 billion, and then it went to 30 billion run rate from 1 month. It's pretty wild.
we could do some. We actually tested 123. These are just those monthly swings, some extensions. It actually bounced from this 123.24. The low was 122.68. It closed at 128. It has a lower monthly bar. It's still got 2-3 weeks to go. I mean, the month is already done. So to me, it's just, this is a clear, some sort of a diagonal. 2, 5, 7, 6, and 2. So 2 here and 2 here. 5, 7, 6. So see, they're very close. The stock is taking longer. You see more time to the downside. See, this one 7 is greater than 2 on time and on price. 36.5 versus 28.9. You see, like any side is going to start getting greater. It'll show you with the time, your time and price does the work. That's the beauty of the GAN is you got a bounce right there with the overlap with 1. That's you always need it. So this one was 28. See, it's the swings are. This is pretty a well-defined diagonal for sure. So that still suggests the bounce anyways. See, the cycle is literally going sideways now. Yeah, this stock just got, it's because this 160 right there, this is cycle mid. That's why it's gonna, the upside is gonna open once you're gonna start moving to the upside, you see? Then you have a room to 187, then the cycle starting to shift up high. The cycle just going sideways, as you can see. It has a huge run from here. You see now, you see that curve, it's just going sideways. So this is a flat story right now in this stock. Okay. So, so your range right now is from 130 to 160. Okay, so that's your 30-point zone. So like, when I'm trying to, I want to do a butterfly, to be honest. I'm just so freaking annoyed by this move up, because we did one, I mean, paid a few bucks, and then we just got that rip to the upside. Butterfly doesn't like these wild moves. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do another one. I will. Butterfly is just you dip, you pop, and just hang on. You know, they're like lazy trades. I mean, when you're gonna have that freaking 1,300 point move, yeah, butterfly is gonna get shaken out. Yeah, but they don't depend. The way I like, if you do get the huge pop, those butterflies not gonna show you a loss anyways. Okay, because their upside is like I cap them pretty low. So by the time it's gonna reach to the expiration point is when you're gonna start seeing negative print. Even the fact that if you have a massive, huge pop in the price, you're still gonna end up making few bucks. Yeah, losses on butterflies are very, that doesn't the difference is a very different trade. Directional trades are different. You're just trying to play one direction at a time. So yeah, Palantir is just
Mo, quick question.
yeah.
So when the starting diagonal, usually it's tell you the third wave is gonna rip really nicely. Can that's the same when you start the correction with diagonal, that your correction gonna be ripping down more or no?
No, diagonals it can be a wave A or wave one because that's considered as a five-way move. If that's what you're asking me, diagonal starts as a wave A or a wave one. It's very
Yes,
early to
we
yeah,
have like
five-way
a
move.
leading and we have ending. So
Ending correct. Leading diagonals forms in wave one, ending
yeah.
diagonal forms in wave five.
Yes, so my question is usually those diagonals, the next wave after them usually rip hard. Is it always just at the beginning or no, it doesn't matter. Wherever the diagonal, usually the next one gonna be rip hard.
Diagonal definition is once the five wave completes, okay, it gets because that becomes a five-way move, right? One, two, three, four, five, correct? And then what this does is it makes a three-way move back toward the fourth wave. That's your minimum upside target. Okay. This is the area right there is what you have to watch really, really close to see what happens here between 61.8 and 78.6. That zone right there is your key decision zone. If it clears it, okay, instead of making a case for a diagonal, you just simply go with the WXY. Or you can just do W, X, Y, X, Z. And then you go back to your chart and then you take this entire correction trying to make a case for a fourth wave. This zone right there after a bounce will give you that call how to adjust this. So you basically what you're trying to do, you thinking this blank side, but then you have a possibility of changing this. The
Thanks.
last 1,000 times I've told every single one of you, five-wave decline or a five-wave diagonal means nothing. Okay? You need 8 swings from any low or any top or any bottom. That's the rule of this. Not the rule. That's how Elliott defines tops and bottoms. You need 8 swings. 5 up, 3 down. So when you have a 5 up and 3 down, that's your low. This is your high. This one right there is a higher low. It has to find support here. That's the key zone to defend this low. Correct? Now you can make an A or you can make it 1. This one right there, you can either make it B or you can make it wave 2. Now what's your target is? You want to make sure that this pivot breaks. If the price comes all the way back down, take out this low, Okay, well, then you got to go back to your higher time frame to see, like, okay, well, your downside is not done yet. You had a hope of us 8 swings off the low, but that failed. Okay, it's the same sequence. So when you're trading swings, a swing doesn't have labeling that everybody obsessed with. I don't understand one thing. There's many people who love to watch charts left and right. Like, why don't you do it? When are you gonna learn? You know, you're not gonna learn just watching. Well, yeah, you will, but it's not gonna give you any practice. Learn the chart. Just copy it. You have it. There's one the Majesty Ruben update this, update this, update this. I'm just like, sometime I call and just, why don't you fucking copy the same thing? Well, you don't know how to put a label, just copy it. Make a carbon copy. You have it, I have it. I change it, you change it. You know, it's just at least you have it right there. Like, okay, this is what I have, you know? So this one right there, you see like what the price is doing here. Weekly is the most important time frame. Always remember that, right? You see lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. You see all these lows are lower than the previous swing, and the higher is lower than the previous high. You see the sequence is going, right? So where's the turning point for this stock? This. So whatever the price has to find support here, it has to make a move up to take out this high first. A swing goes first, then the swing has to turn direction. Obviously, right now the swing is down, right? Oh, now it's up. Oh. Oh, because it only got 2. 1, 2, 2, 3. Wow, this trade is pretty tight. It took a beating here. Yet an outside button. This has to update. Something is not right. Daily is down for sure. You made a lower low. I think the data is not updated yet. Yeah, I'll update probably on Monday.
Mo, could we look at SMH? Because it's the leader. It's the only one that made a new high.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's okay. It's made a new high. Made a new high. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna look at?
But it's kind of, that's where the money's flowing, right? And so that's going to dictate and should give us some clues on market direction.
This one is
As long as the SMH stays strong, the market's not going to, go down in any strong way. So
yeah, 5 down weeks. 1 week. Look at this. 22.7%. It's just crazy, you
the
know?
the question is that move something is that an ending of something, like such a
No.
sharp, no?
No, both prices making higher high.
Yeah, but
The only way the price is gonna reverse now, you need this low.
It's all the memory stocks, right?
Yeah.
it's memory and it's also the optical stocks. That's
Yeah,
the
that's right. Yeah, but they're small, you know.
well, they just added I think they just added SanDisk or one of them to
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's a memory stock, isn't it?
oh
Sun-
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, SanDisk was included in S&P yesterday.
In the 100, yeah.
Yeah.
But Sienna, all the other ones are
Yeah, those guys are small. Even though, they
uh,
popped so violent.
Light. Yeah, Light has been doing really well.
Yes. Light, coherent, you know.
I think
Light
the
and
next
coherent are the top leaders, I think.
the next We'll see what happens over the weekend, right? Here's a daily. I did all the mags the thing yesterday or something. Took a screenshot. We just go them one by one. So here's a daily S&P started off. We just go straight down. So you can see, we had a pretty sharp reversal. Fine, we get that. We got a throw over here, made a huge move back up. Now we got to throw over to the upside. Okay. The mid rate there for this is 67.95. We talked about this thing before. We need one of these green because these are the custom candles. So they only gonna flip when it's gonna turn green. So as soon as they turn green, the direction of the swing will change. So in the daily time frame, we have pretty much everything is up except for dollar swing is down, Tesla swing is down, and IGV swing is down. These are the words I just watch all of them here. This includes all the generals, gold, silver, and you could read them here. S&P, daily is up for sure because we had 8 straight weeks of higher highs. 8. Think about it for a second. So we're down 32 days. Now we rallied 8. So we're down. So it took 32 days, okay, which is 9 weeks on the weekly, but we're just gonna look at the daily time frame here, okay? 9.7% decline to 32 days. Now it ripped up 8.4% in 8 days. Okay, RSI is at 80. Okay, complete. It's pretty much overbought. Put a low right there at 12 RSI, right to 61. That's the rip right there, right? So it still need another 2 more weeks of higher high to confirm the weekly swing to flip, right? As soon as you're gonna see, because these are all black. Once it's gonna have one of these green, then the weekly swing will flip. We will see it. NASDAQ, same picture, up, down, 10%, up 10% in 8 days. Okay. So same thing here. Russell, so they all of them on the daily got a throw over, as you can see right there. So they're gonna be due for some sort of is the price is eventually is gonna get back inside. Okay. So it goes down, same thing as you can see. This is the reason that I started doing Elliott. Remember, like, and I'm gonna stop. I mean, I like it. I love it. All this, but it takes too much of my time. I need to work on other things. I can't sit and can change things left and right. So enjoy while I'm in the mood. Um, I see it is such a short window. I mean, I can do it after hours and stuff. That's different, but not during the session. And lately, from the last week, I've been like literally spent like pretty much all day doing Elliott, and I've been doing like looking at a bunch of charts, and just on a bigger time frame, like daily, weekly time frame, just to see. Elliott just gives me a very different view and look, plus the fibs and stuff. Um, but it's just easy. Click by click, it gives you the exact direction. And it's easy to launch trades from, saves a lot of time. S&P 100 is a OEX, okay, that tracks the 100 stocks ETF. It's very important. Oh yeah, the same thing, same goes with the S&P. Semis, massive throwover. Actually got a sell signal here on the weekly. So next week it's gonna be, never know, might go into an inside week on semis. Huge throwover, plus you got the time signal got hit, and you got the sell signal. The last time it had a sell signal triggered here, and next week was down. So that one before was here. Got a huge, massive throw over here. That doesn't mean it has to mean I don't think it's gonna reverse all the way back down. It might end with an inside week between this area right there. 427, 441. Kind of absorb that move. Take a pause. Swing is up. I mean, it can continue as well. SPY, same thing. SPY Qs, as you can see, they all went up. IWM, all sector swings are up on a daily as well. Technology went up. You know, financials. Financial picked up a nice mean reversion here. This blue one right there, okay, it's bottom signals. Okay, is where the mean reversion happens. Golden signal, this one and this one is a time signal that's based off the time. Okay, and the green is obviously the buy signal and the red is obviously a sell signal. So that you'll remember these four. Mean reversion blue, golden is up and down for the time, and then blue and red, the green and red is always a buy and sell. Okay, that's all I keep them here, nothing else. And I get the RSI read, and I know what, and I just look at the direction of the swing. See, buy signal here, gotta move back up. Mean reversion here didn't work. I mean, one day got the bounce and then flush it back down again. Time signal hits here, nothing else. You see, so you can kind of see what triggers up and down. Main focus is here. Okay, we do trade this side as well, but I always pay attention to this. See, sell signal triggered here, here. So this is why from this S&P, you see right there, that's why I opened those puts last month, if you know, because of this. So, you know, whatever. I mean, next one will come, we're gonna catch that again. These are different than toss. So energy right there, got a sell signal in the daily time frame, got a full flush down, right? Nothing here on the weekly side, as you can see. Okay, these are very powerful signals on these swings. I mean, Thinkorswim is good as well, don't get me wrong. Those are more mechanical. It has a lot of those moving average work behind them. And this is a totally different world. Okay, it doesn't mean that everything is going to be it's a guaranteed reversals, but well, they do play out really well. Mean reversion, bunch of them with time. Healthcare got a bit of a rally right there. Nothing really special here. Industrial got a time signal triggered this week. This one right there's a buy signal here. See, and some of them are. It's just a matter of taking a shot and day by day and see how it goes. Buy signal here, time signal hit here, time signal hit here. So ETFs are more lazy trades, the mean reversion. Buy signal triggered here. Here goes the sell signal on this one. So when you look at two side by side, it confuses the hell out of you. Like, okay, well, what should I trade? You know, I always try to focus on this one. These are more alpha trades. Basically, gives you like bigger higher lows, and you know kind of what you're trying to attack. You know, when this thing triggers, and you know, kind of this is the read that you actually, yeah, just this is the main thing. You see daily is down, weekly still up. Even the fact that dollar kind of set back. So dollar kind of neutral right now. You know, because weekly is still up. So gold is got a surprise yesterday at the close. Got the weekly sell signal. Got the mean reversion here. Got a huge throw over below this band. Then you see the close, how quickly it reverses. So it's inside the band. That's fine. It should be. You see, because you had a massive throw over here. So you got to throw over here. I told you so many times. So, same thing. You got to throw over on a time. Then you got the mean reverse. Same thing when we do those channels. Remember, I make those channels on the on the wave count, and then I don't move them. Then you see the throw over, right? And then you're gonna say like, okay, when the upside will come back in play, then you expect the same throw over to the upside. So same thing is the same thing applies here. You see, massive wick, massive wick. It's equal. It's a Newton law. Okay, we all studied in school. Nothing new. Exactly the same thing applies here. It's a Newton third law. Silver here, nothing. Silver kind of grinding up. It's just sitting right in the mid. It had a massive throw over. It then got wick, but see, got hit with a sell signal here, right there. Yeah, weekly sell signals are freaking are very pretty darn powerful. I have a very good track record on them. Ethereum kind of grinding his way up. I like Bitcoin. I have IBIT is okay. Weekly is up. Daily is up. So Bitcoin is, and I am trying to play this move toward here. Okay, but we need to take out this high right there, which is gonna kind of extend this line. You know. So remember, we have a declining band. Okay, on the weekly means the upside is gonna be nail biting. So don't I bought IBIT. Is trade is positive, is doing fine. It tracks this, and you know open the futures and just see if we can try to play this move like this, because in a smaller time frame it's like a diagonal, something like this. I did that one on you should have it been showing this right there. See, right here. See, that's your low right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember the 8 swing rule I told you? So that's the bet they're willing to make. So it was 68. Got a little itchy in my hands. 68. That's when I did. This is I actually doing a trading view, and I shut it off. I was like, you guys really worked on I mean, again, I'm just there's nothing compared to trading view or compare, when it comes to Optima and Multi-Wave and stuff. This thing is just so these are the upside projections that I run. So 76, 79. So right now it's at 72. So it was at what, 68. So it gained almost 4,000 points so far. So we're right around here toward this B. And then I'm just trying to see if we can get here. This one scale, I'm gonna change it to. So this one is 78. 78.9, call like 779, right? So which is right there. So this first and second target. So if finger crossed, if this trade plays out, correct, should be able to hit the 79. The 79 target is this is the mid of the timing band that we're looking at. Okay. So that's the setup that I took those IBIT trade. That's the upside. That upside on that one would be 43, 43.90. well, then, what's the pivot is? 42.5 pivot breaks leads to 43.95. So 79 on this, okay, is 43.95. Can't count single pennies on the IBIT. Okay, so you just make a note of this number. This would be if our trade, if the Bitcoin, the weekly is up anyways. So remember, for weekly to flip, we need 3 weeks of lower lows, right? So the upside from here, my target for this month, if the swing stays up and if it behaves, okay, and we get this move somehow like this, that would hit this number right there on the IBIT. So that's the upside. Okay. NVIDIA, nothing here. We can move time signal. Apple, buy signal here, nothing here. It's all flat. Apple's pretty flat right there. Very choppy. Microsoft Pig, mean reversion. See, they got a daily is coming down. Ended the week with a doji. Yellow is a doji bar. The doji candle had a mean reversion here. It's pretty beat up. He put up a little double bottom here. Made a higher week, but ended up being doji. Just it clearly shows that either this stock is literally following all these software punishment. You know, the stock is exactly behaving like this. Why it's down like almost. I think the only potential for this stock to pop, I mean, you're upside at what, 435, 410, which is 413 on this swing. This one actually goes to 489, so it's a long way to go. So from here, I mean, I don't know if this low hold, we can just simply run the fibs, take this low to this high swing. Oops, let's do 23. What's that? That's your upside story. It depends on if the low holds. 387, 407, 422, 438. It's all, you have to understand one thing, okay? There is absolutely makes zero sense, okay, to look up, okay, as far as you wanted to go. I can drag it. That's the best way to look at it. If you want to see more upside here, they can look more upside. Is to have a directions to the upside. Then you project upside when you have a clear direction. Meaning, you know, it's like the same thing. I'm trying to make a case here. Okay, this direction of the swing is up. Right? So I'm gonna like then that time they're like, okay, yes, the direction of the swing is up. Now I will look up. But against the low. But that's the low that I want, like the price has to defend. Not you have to defend. It's not like you running the price. You know, the price has to hold that low. So every signal is just what we end up trading. It's just that the damn low has to hold. You know, and then the price just has to work its way up. That low gone, direction flips, price is below all these moving averages and stuff, punishment starts. You know, it's all about this, each structure, okay, wave curve, okay, it has a low, and that low has to hold. So now in this case right there, okay, daily is up, fine. You know, weekly is working as well. But I mean, look at this price action. I mean, what is this? What to make out of this? This is the high right there, 212. That's the low, 164. What do you make out of this? You know, this correction and this you know, that 10% setback this market has is just, it's a normal correction that we had. I mean, well, normal is more than 5. Normal is 5. 10 is a little more extreme. The 10% dip is just a 10%. But look, like none of this market on the weekly time frame has like really broken down hard. Because you can't, I mean, look at this upside. Look, no curve on the band, right? Massive rally. It just stock is just taking a breather. Like basically took a breather. Does it resume back to the upside? Well, we're gonna find out. Same thing with Apple. See, massive move up. I'm just saying, it's like it doesn't matter what time frame that you go to. No, this is trend. This is what people just simply don't understand. When trend resume, okay, it's gonna have a shallow pullbacks. Same thing to the downside, same thing to the upside. When you start, this is the way when I'm gonna see that the price is starting to overlap is because the swing gives me these reads because I can see how fast the swings are turning. Faster the swing turns, choppy the price action is gonna become. Then there's no way you're gonna be able to count your 8 swings to the downside anyways. Now you want to label it because you have overlaps. Directional trades don't have overlap. It goes. You see the look of this and this. Look at this price action compared to this price action. You cannot tell a difference. You have a massive overlaps. Retracements are 23.6, 38.2. A good healthy trend that resumed to the upside always find buyers here, it rips right back up. If a trend is really strong, it's only going to give you this. You'll be lucky if you even get this kind of pullback. It just goes, rips right back up, makes another higher high. Or people like saying, oh, it has to retrace at least 50%. Not necessary. It depends how strong the price is. It can pull back as shallow as 23.6 and it all comes down to the price is end up making a higher high or not. High and a low, that's what matters. Those are your pivot points. I actually have this is going to be on the same swing. Take rid of this to pivot labels. There you go. So these labels right there that gives you, we can do 4, we can do 10, depends how you want to set it up. You see, like everything is different. See, that's your pivot high, H is a high, L is low. So it tells you this, I did a 10 bar, right? So it tells you like there, like which high and low has to break. So now you see like this is a low. So this is looking for this high right there. It still hasn't, it's kind of like, like little dull color, right? Because this is, you see the color difference? This is darker, this is lighter, right? Why it is lighter? Because it has not confirmed the high and low yet. Even the fact that price did make a new low because it dipped below this low, right? So it went down this low. But right now the price is it's debating between, where's my, between this low and this high. So that's the new low because it's lower than this. And this is the high right there. This is the price. Now the price is if it breaks up, takes out this pivot, and you have a continuation to the upside. It breaks down, now you have this low. You see, you just keep marking these high and lows. So your upside shelf is this and this. That's your zone. You see, because you have this pivot high and you have this pivot high. You see the decline here and here. So your upside resistance zone is this. The price has to work his way up. It's going to reject here for sure. Okay. And then if it pass through it, then it gets continuation. Then the price has, then this shift right there has to appear, has to follow the same thing. This band right there, you see, is declining. It has to start following back up toward the upside. The more data is going to come, is the more it's going to upgrade, or, update over time. But weekly is more slower, right? You see, it's hard. You don't have anything. Like we looked at the Palantir. You see, like how the Palantir is going. The price is going like this. But look at the curve. This one even have any curve. Because it's not all stocks are the same. You know, look at Microsoft. You see how this sucker is coming down. Look at the Apple. Look, it's a rising band. It's two opposite case. That's one because Microsoft is so close to the last year low right now. This is where the price is just took a little bit of a pause. It is gonna finally put a lower yearly bar since the 2010 or not? We're gonna find out what's gonna happen. To the percentage. Okay. So Tesla, same thing. Got a daily buy signal here. Got the pop faded. So it's okay. Just we put a higher bar. So there is a potential the stock can pop 372. So let's watch daily, but both of them down. So let's watch this 364.50. Hopefully we can get them on Monday. It would be very nice. So that's the first. Then 372 is the mid here. So let's see if it holds. Time signal, buy signals on a daily. So taking a little bit of a chance with the smaller counter trend move to see if it plays out. Amazon got a nice rally back to the upside. I closed this one at a 127 extension. Just went up a little bit more on me. More on me. Then it just went up to almost 61 retracement. Buy signal here. So we were in the trade. I guess it's decent profit. Gapped up here. Another rally. So got a time signal, buy signal here in the weekly. That's why I opened that trade right there. I don't know, when did I open that? I think I opened it here. That's when the buy signal came. That's why I wanted to hold that trade. See higher bar. Look at the size of this candle. Huge move. Google got sell signal, went all the way down here, back, overthrow, 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 overthrow. Google works really good with fibs. Microsoft 640 tagged yesterday 638.58, made it 638.43. So literally just went from here to here. Mean reversion, time signal. Netflix is starting to follow those pink music signal. I call them music signal. The music stops when this thing stops. It's like you see right there on Apple, the music started playing here, and then every week the music was playing until this week, and then the price rolled over. So Netflix just got them on a weekly. It's 2 weeks so far. And keep in mind, Netflix has a lower yearly bar. So if Netflix does manage to reverse all the way back up to the new highs, it means that the year engulf. Okay. It already has a year. It's the last year low is this. 82, 82.11. See the April 11, 2025, the date right there at the bottom. See, it made a new low. So now it's here. So I don't think it's gonna have much room to run, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. Their earnings are coming up. So let me see. We can do this to this. I change these. Add this. So we take this low to this. 105. That's a 61 point. That would be 78.6. So it's another 2 points or so. It's gonna hit this band right there. It's a 61.8. Do the retracement with this. Show percentage sale. You'll see here better. 61.61. These all you know these fibs. I'm gonna go through that. IG is a disaster. There is a hope coming, but this is a bearish engulfing candle. Plus this red box right there. That's the bearish setup. Setting up for next week. You see the same red box. The boxes that you see here, okay, either green, red, yellow is a doji. It's called a candle pattern boxes. It takes 2 days of move, 2 days of a close, either on a daily or weekly. So red, so like this one, right? This is a bearish box, right? And the next day you got roll over. So this is a bearish box right there. Then the next week was down. I'm not 100% necessary, but a lot of them, they do play out. See bearish setup here, down week. So just to make a case of a 1 week play, like a short-term trade. See bearish setup here, down week, then a gap down hard. So it's the same like you see like here, bullish setup, nothing happens, but it rolls over. Yeah, so not good. There's no guarantee or anything. It works, it works. Sometimes it won't. But it's just basically what it does is like it takes 2 days of a high and a low and an open and a close to set up either a bullish or a bearish candlestick pattern. So I do watch them pretty close. They do come handy. You see right there, that was a hammer. That individual. That's when the next day the tweet came. Ceasefire. Right at the hammer. So I do watch them. You see, like this one right there is doji. Anything yellow is doji. Green right there is hammer. And then when you see uh, 2 candles in one box, that's the candle pattern. So red is right there. You see lower day. So these are like small counter trend moves you can take. See bullish setup here. Another bullish setup here for the day. So it becomes, see. So the bearish here, down week, bearish here, down week, bearish here, down week, bullish here. There's a hammer right there, higher week. The bullish setup here, higher week. So we can I actually can scan this thing for you as well. If you want to. So here's a bullish candle stand weekly. So it pulls up like these stocks right there, 38 of them. Okay, and these stocks right there have closed the week with a bullish setup for next week. Okay, so you just go to the watch list. There's a name. So these are the names, 38 names in the S&P. So we go by this, to this, go to the weekly. There you go. So anywhere that you see the green boxes, it means that it has a potential. I will say potential. There is a probability, that's the proper word to use. There is a probability for the next week to be a higher week. Okay, because these are the bullish setups. So any green box, because we just only scan bullish. Okay. So anything good here? GE is one. General Motors, GNRC. It's a strong stock of industrial pulling back. GPC, Home Depot. Those. Qualcomm. Look at that. Look at this. This thing is fighting last year low right there. Look at this. 120 is the last year low. If this thing Qualcomm goes, it's gonna have a lower yearly bar. You know, just keep that thing in mind. I don't know why this pig is so weak. This stock. Sherman Williams. Oh, these are like a short-term counter-trend moves. Textron, Zebra. This is bullish setup. You're trying to see if it can take out this week high. So for the bearish, we can do that as well. We can do this bearish run scan. Oh, okay. What are I'm not gonna run the whole thing. So I have all of them have red boxes. Robinson, CME, Salesforce, CrowdStrike, Dollar General, GoDaddy, Lockheed Martin, ServiceNow, Oracle, and Tyler Technology. So these are the ones that have a bearish setup for next week. These stocks.
So Mo, can you take a look at the downside of it now and possible dead count
I
bounce?
cannot, this chart is almost impossible for me to open here. No, seriously. Oh, there you go. Because the stock split, you know? So that's the weekly right there. Yeah, I mean, it's showing a larger swing because of the stock split. Yeah, it's definitely, I
But
got
the toss chart adjusts. So can you do it with a toss chart? That
huh?
downside and upside?
What thing?
I think, I'm stuck with now and I really want to, you know, do something about it. Either take more put options or, bet on the possible dead count bounce. And I think
I
that,
can run, oh, I don't know exactly where the low is. What we can do is we can do monthly extensions to find a potential floor. So there's a very, very good chance. So watch 80.83, not the pennies, watch 80.83, and the next is 70. So this stock right now, based on these fibs, is in a 10-point bracket right now. Okay, 70, 80, 90, 98. Okay, so it's these are the numbers right there. So just watch this. I don't think this stock has that much of a higher ATR. Even the fact this stock was down this week, probably two, yeah, because this is a bearish engulfing candle right there. Um, The stock was down 18.63% this week. Stock is down 45.82% for the year. Quarter is down 40. Oh, 80, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's just that. I mean, we'll look up. Well, there's a potential here, might reverse. They'll never know. This one buys. Just a grind up. So we did
So
those.
reverse is at 126 is the ceiling.
I mean, we have to see some upside action first in order to start looking up, you know? So we don't have that. This thing needs to find a floor first. And when at least like a daily swing flips first, you know, and then it still needs 3 weeks of higher highs.
I asked that question to, find a safe, but, not too far away strike for the covered call.
If you want to go with a monthly, I mean, yeah, you're way down to 83 now. You're gonna get that much premium. Like, I don't know. We have to look at the option chain. You know, I mean, covered call. I mean, if covered call is either you want to do 25 delta or 30 delta. I mean, that's what you're looking for. You don't want to go do 40 or 45.
Or
You're gonna be
for
too
like how many weeks out for 25, 30 delta? 2 weeks out? 1 month out?
two, 32, yeah, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks fine. It's gonna decay fast. Stock is in a downtrend anyways. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember. I showed you. I know the covered calls are you know they're fine, but remember I showed you the call cutter spread. I I did it one time on Broadcom. So just but that just sucks a lot of capital out. But that's the only negative part about margin trading is, but you just cap the upside and just cut the delta off the, like, let's say you owe 50 trades, sorry, 50 shares. You make a call cutter spread of 50 delta. Now you trade down to zero. Let the time pass. You receive the card up in the front. I showed you the example. I gotta repeat the whole thing. 70, 80, 90. That's the only thing I can show you. There's nothing else that shows. I don't know where the floor is. That's the only always a challenge. We don't know where the floors are. Like if we go here and Jesus, I don't show anything. Go negative one day. It's the service now. The Optima doesn't have that. You just have to look at the chart on the toss. Broadcom took a counter trend trade on this one. Did pay it. Just this was the pivot. Remember, I labeled this thing here on the wave count as well. So didn't look at them. I got a few. Oh boy. Here. I don't know where this thing is gonna stop, but any little bit of a pullback here, I would I'll buy another. It's gonna be another wave too. It's gonna be a two, unless it's going this. I don't know. So we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on. I'm gonna do another spread on this one to see if we can catch this to the upside. I hope it kind of take a little bit of a breather. 10, 15 points or so. buy some time again and go back up again. Okay, last or least, S&P. You've been watching these too. Lows are marked right there. If the current decline was only a three-way move, we need 5 waves to the upside. Wave 1, down in 2, 1, flat, 1, 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, 5. So this is the third. Okay? That doesn't mean it ends here. I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. So every time I post this, but because I when it depends when the change is necessary. But I post this thing, I believe, like what, 4 or 5 times a day now. So enjoy when it lasts. Pay attention to the bubbles. Okay, these are the bubbles that I put. Red is the zone that you must watch. It's it's all about cluster of fibs. Whenever the strong fibs are gonna start to stack really, really close, okay, within few points apart, those are the zones that we watch. Okay, so you're gonna watch these, whatever I'm gonna put these circles around. Okay, so this one is, remember, 261.8, super strong fib. 61.8, it's a strong fib, right? So then if the price clears that, we have an upside zone here. These are the external fibs right there. So you just keep an eye on those as well, just on the side. These are coming from the largest high and low swing. So we're just trying to count to see if we can get 5 waves up to the upside. Okay. So now let's say, so this is the primary count. So it has, now if I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. What if this price reach, because this 3 right there can extend, it can go all the way up to the highs. We just don't know. Okay, so we only passed 100 right there. So 61.8 is at 69.67. So that's typically the ideal target for a third, but it's not necessary. As long as it passed above 100, it's okay, right? But we have a zone here on this side. That's why we're going to watch side by side to see what the reaction is. Now from here, if the price goes up to here, or it goes up to 61.8, 200, who knows? So more and more the price is going to step, but that's what the updates that I do. So you don't have to look up too much. So if I have to, if it's necessary for me to open more to upside, I will. But I'm just not going to entertain it for no reason. Okay. So for now, let's say this. So we do wave 4 here. So we make a case for a fourth on this side from this. So we build this zone right there. So this fourth right there, 65, 67, that's like, what I feel like 100-point setback. So that would give this 4. Then this is the clear invalidation. Now you know the big no rule, right? No, fourth wave cannot enter the territory of wave 1. So this is a zone, unless if it kind of comes down a little bit harder, it can come down to 50% as well. So it has to settle somewhere here, and then it has to work its way up again toward this 5th wave. So then we will have a complete 5 waves to the upside. Then it has to set back in a 3 wave to the downside again. So we're not there yet. Okay, so I'm not gonna entertain any of this stuff yet until we have more, see how the session goes, and and how it, and how the wave count will go each, couple hours or so. But this is hourly time frame, so each session's gonna, what, 6.5 hour sessions, as you know, like each session will have one bar for 1 hour. So per session, we just only get like 6 of them, and the session close. So I don't want to here we're in a wave 3 and in a wave 4 we're gonna have this, and you don't have to worry about any labels. Okay. Are we gonna dip here? We should, and then we're gonna rip back up. Your opinions, those you can just keep it to yourself. You're too bored to have that thing running in your head all the time where you are. I'll label it. You don't have to worry about that. Your job is only to pay attention to the price, to see what the first cluster is here, correct? That's where we have this. As you can see, price came back few hours, didn't really clear through it, correct? So it's showing the response that we wanted to see. Okay, that's why we put this. So if the price clears up, meaning that the price making a higher high, we're going to remove this one and we're going to move here. Then what we're going to do is we're just going to close this up, these two, and we're going to focus on this part because you're just moving toward the zones. So one of these zones right there will, then this zone right there will, we're going to see what the price will do here. And then we're just going to slide this thing up higher. You see, the more and more the price progress to the upside, labels will be moved, will follow the same route to the upside as well. Whatever is going to roll over, well, then we're going to take a second look. We don't have to take a second look because we have this working on the side. So you have two different counts. Okay. The two different counts, you can't do all this. Like, the point here is you have a plan A and you have a plan B. Okay. This is how I used to do Elliott for years. I will attack a certain stock making two different wave counts. One primary, one alternate. Plan A, plan B. Okay. If I'm on a plan A, and if my plan A fails, I will know instantly, okay, what is the next move is, because I have a plan B working next to it. The point here is that both cannot be wrong at the same time. It's nearly impossible. If anybody in the world, a person can prove me this thing, that's like, I can prove you that both will be wrong at the same time, I will cut you a check of $100,000. I'll put my name on it. Prove it to me that both will be wrong at the same time. It will not, because they're labeled different. It's impossible. One is right for sure. Which one? Time will tell. We will know for sure which one it is. Which one will confirm the other one? Okay. So we apply, so we will know that as well. How do we know that? If this 4 right there will come down like this, it means that the plan B right there is trying to come into a play. Okay? Because you know the rule here. And where we have the 6,600 sitting? Toward the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame. So now we're up with 50, we're above 50 and 200 in the daily. So for a 1 hour time frame, so you draw your daily time frame picture in your head. If based on this, you don't really need daily wave count and stuff. 1 hour wave count is good for like almost one. I can run this thing for like 2-3 months, two months for sure. On a 1 hour count. Yeah, it has plenty of time. I mean, the price will kind of shrink and then we have a lot of time to go here. It shows days here, 14, 15, 16, 17. But then it will, I can run I've done it. I mean, it's just, you can go easily 2 months or so on a 1 hour time frame. So if this is this, okay, what now we need to see is because we need to have 5 smaller waves to complete the third wave, right? Is a motive wave. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does this 5 extends more? Does this third goes up higher? We're gonna find out. Depends. That's how the session goes. Do we set back some sort of because you, regardless if it comes down from here, does it go up, then set back and forth? Regardless, this fourth is gonna come one way or another, right? When this third ends. So this is marking a low here from the recent decline that we have. So instead of making that, this one right there, we just count as a three-way move, correct? So now we take the three-way move, same low, same high, right? Instead of making WXY, which is a complex. So the complex is you have A up in B, down in C. Look at that, almost to the penny. So you have an ABC move here for 3 is a W. ABC up in 3. Look at that 100. Look at this 100. It's almost to the penny. Prints, high and lows. And then from here, you have an extended Y. Remember I told you when you have a shorter W, you have an extended Y. When you have a larger W, you have a shorter Y. Complex always work this way. Okay, one side is always getting, most of the time always gets greater than the other one. They're very choppy corrections. So we took a start from there on this. So plan now is what happens over the weekend. The market is already priced in because of this move is already priced in. It's gonna set back. Then we'll make a case for this fourth wave. Now the only thing is this thing has a monster gaps open. This gap right there. And this gap right there fills it almost close to the invalidation level. Okay, so it's tricky. It's very tricky read right now. Okay, but we're gonna see how the session goes. You see right there, this gap right there is gonna bring it all the way down toward this high right there. Okay. But at the same time, when we're gonna see how the price is coming down, if the price does decide to fill full gap, half gap, doesn't matter. I mean, but we're gonna make a case here for the fourth to see where the zone builds and see if we could then watch the swings and stuff with the timing and stuff. And then we'll see if we could position something back like this to complete a 5-way move. This one right there is a simple A, which is the same A back there. So instead of WXY, I did ABC. And you have a diagonal here. 1, 2, 3, 4 with the overlap, and then 5. Okay, a little bit of a throwover, which is fine. Now the rule of a diagonal, not the rule, the thing what I always tell you about, when there's a completion of a diagonal, what is the next move is a three-way move, correct? The way does the three-way move goes? Minimum fourth wave and second wave. Okay. Where does the diagonal starts? Diagonal starts from wave 2. It doesn't start here. It starts here. Okay. So when you read a book as well, if you're bored, you can read them over the weekend. That the this is the when the diagonal completes, if it's either a leading diagonal from the wave one or an ending diagonal from wave four, you know, I don't know what the percentage is, but most of the time, the price makes a reversal. It goes right back to the beginning of the initial diagonal, which is always the wave two. So these are the two targets that you always I always look for, um, either to the upside or to the downside. So the minimum downside retracement. Four is for sure. If you have a proper complete diagonal, that's your minimum target for an ABC move. And then if the price makes this low, that's fine. If it ends up going back toward here, that's where it's going to take a pause. Okay. Now this one right there has a pretty stiff resistance here. It's a pretty key zone where the market is right now. Why is that? Is because of this. See, moving this, I don't like that because I'm going to show it to you because you see how everything shrinks. This takes time. I don't, but it's okay. I'm going to show you real quick. So we have a high here. So you draw a trend line. So from this high, connecting this low, not this, because this is where the D was. You anchor the line where the price high was. Okay, don't worry about these little fake wicks. So when you drop a line down by connecting this, so that's your trend line resistance. Okay, so when you take this low, which is March 30th low, to this high, your 78.6 sitting at 68.49. Okay, so 68.49 is what? Is the door to this. Okay, so any breakout here, okay, market kind of, came pretty close, trying to get cute, kind of backed off a little bit, few points. So you have a 261.8 is sitting here, which is right here. And you have a 78.6. You're not going to see a 78.6 here because I'm running the extension from like this here. It's a different count. It's a different count. Okay, so you always do. When I screenshot them, I screenshot both of them. So you have to look at both ways side by side. This one is going to have a different price. This one will have a different price because they're two different wave counts. So they're going to have the same retracements. Okay, external will depends which high do I take? Do I take this high? Do I take this high? It depends what I'm looking at, but these ones are good. So leave these one as is. So this one right there, I put this little bubble here on this side between this area right here. There's a lot of sellers right now getting real active in this zone. Can it pull up toward the 68? Kind of go and touch the line? Yeah, it's possible. So you have a trend line resistance, 78.6. I believe the high was 68.45. So it came pretty darn close to 68.49. Shot by like 3 points. And then this is where we closed, at 68.16 yesterday, right? So kind of little choppy, slow mode kind of dip because it's been up for was up for like 8 days, 7 days. And then it kind of ended the streak yesterday. Yeah, it's a down day yesterday because it was closed by like 4, 5, 6 points or so. So that streak of that 7 days is ended. So we don't have seven higher closes anymore. So now the clock reset back to down one now. So this is the zone right there for the alternate count. So I mean, the C is somewhere down here. Where the heck it went? All the way back here. Let me see. So this is counting as a three-way move. That's meaning I don't It's a little tough case to make, if you would ask me, but anything can happen. Is like you took initial dip for 9 weeks, you did get a monster move back up. So you basically had an 8% rally, and then you're looking for another 8% down. And it's not gonna come down that fast, that quick either, you know, because you still need to form. If this is the failure here, you still need to form, if from any key zone, still has to have like at least like 8 swings. So it still gotta has to come down like something like this, and then from here you make the case of one, two, then the three. You know, you still need that. So basically, the daily swing is up anyways. So you technically gotta need at least 3 down days now to flip the swing down. That's one thing. So if those 3 days is gonna come down, that fourth wave is gonna do the work here. All this price, they're gonna work very different side by side. But you don't have to worry about anything. Just watch where the zones are. Okay, we cleared one, we have another one. This one clears, I open more. That one, I can open more and more and more. Depends how price goes. I mean, I keep every time when it requires a change, I'll post them. If there's no update coming, then it means dull price action like 5-10 point range. There's nothing to update, to be honest. It's just what are you gonna make out of this move right there? Yeah, you see like a 20-25 point dip right there, but what do you actually can do here? Nothing. So this is why I said like these hourly charts, they go for like a couple months. They don't need daily updates. Like every 2-3 hours you need an update. Okay, this is some hardcore Elliott wave you ever gonna see. I can show you a lot more. It's gonna go over your head. You're not there yet. Old school sometime works, huh? Just so it's just so we'll see what happens. I did this one. I was stuck there for like more than half a day yesterday. I was like, I don't know, the close is coming. I was like, you see, like all I gotta do just grab this, and you see how it opens upside. So you can stack them. It's just I don't, we don't need. I don't need to open this one. I just gotta do just hide them like this. I don't need this. Hide them like that. There you go. I don't need this. That's it. There you go. It's all gone. So when the price makes a higher high, so there's no point just to torture somebody or me myself. Like, oh yeah, the price is going there because Mo is showing this. Yeah, the price is gonna. No, when I see a day made a higher high, meaning, and then we just open the upside. So far, do we see little like the price a little has like backed off a little bit? Yeah, we did. Where does it did? There you go, right in front of you. We laid it out up front before the price will reach that area, right? As a matter of fact, if you actually look at this thing, in the end, I'm the only one who's gonna end up be calling these moves. As much as people panic, and then, and in the end, I'm the one who's gonna be like, look, March 31st, 63.16 low. There you go. This is, I mean, the same thing before that time. You see, I don't have the fork yet because I deleted. You see the same thing that I told you before. Come on, go on the side here. When is my oops. You see, you got the fork. You see this throw over here? I had the same throw over here. right? Now we're sitting at 68 right there, 68, 16. See the see the Newton law? When I posted this thing as well, I said like, okay, then I was watching this time cycle as well, and I'm like, well, something's gotta come up. So I mean, nobody can predict these wild reversals, man. It just I laid it out a 5-way move. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen in one single week either. You know, yeah, well, it's playing out, but basically what it is, you have a 3-way move. Okay, well, the next step is a development of 5-way, 5 to the upside, then 3 to the downside, then 5 back to the upside. It's just a sequence. 3 down, 5 up, 3 down, 5 up. That's what Elliott is. People make it so freaking damn confusing. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. One guy is making this. I don't know what was that. I've never seen, and he's trying to tell me about a different view, how to look at the wave count. So he has A, some larger A, then he has a B. So this, and then he has 1, 2, 3, some B like this. So this B, which is down here, so this initial A was a W, X, Y, X, connector X and Z. That's the B wave. I'm like sitting and thinking, is like, what the fuck? I was like, what B is that? That could have a triple combination. It's crazy. I mean, the genie is probably here somewhere. Here, this guy. Look here. Oh my God. How? This is the high. This is the low. So this is your A wave. And this is the B wave. Your B compared to A, you don't see that thing just looks abnormal or your head is not right. And you looking for this, and then you making a case for this. The correction itself is crying. Like, what are you even doing? So you have a A here, then you had another B here, almost went right there. And now from this A to this B is this. And then your C is going to be shorter compared to your this B right there. And then you have a C here. I was gonna, you know, I even wrote them. Like, I was like, who even taught you this? I said, even who even taught you this labeling? But these are the people who just gonna or argue. They know. Their people are that brainwashed that if you show them something like, hey, this is what 2 weeks ago and this is what it is right now, and they'll say like, oh no, this is still bearish. It's gonna be an ABC. That's crazy, you know. But JD Vance, man, I didn't even see this. Wow, interesting. JD, come on, man. Don't make our nation proud. You can do it. It's a huge move for him politically as well.
Yeah, it's Trump is giving him
Anyway,
a chance, because Rubio kind of scored a high point so far. So
yeah,
Rubio and
yeah, he's
Barnes
very
are
skinny.
the two contenders for the successors of Trump, right?
Yeah, yeah, he wrote. Okay, so that's a bit tough. That's a weird question. Who elected him, first of all, anyways? I'm just confused. This guy has all security clearance. I don't, I mean, again, I'm not trying to, this guy has no security clearance. Who voted for him? And he has this much power over this entire country that he's literally negotiating everybody's lives. I mean, I'm just so confused. The
Well,
people
president
voted
has
for
the
him.
power to appoint anybody as his advisors or special envoy, even though they're not elected officials.
JD looks pretty happy though. I can tell. Well, I don't know which card they're gonna play, so Pakistan provided crazy security, air defense, and all that. It's insane. At least, I mean, that's the only thing that makes me at least happy, man. You know what? At least they're trying their best to stop the stupid stuff. It's a nice conference. See, they let all the reporters, everybody goes. Not bad. Not bad setup, to be honest. It's just, at least they're trying. They know these countries gonna get hurt really, really bad with higher oil prices. Pakistan, India, all these Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and it's gonna spread all the way around. Indonesia, Malaysia, all of these countries, they're gonna get hit hard with these higher oil prices. This stuff needs to stop, and um,
And it's not just oil, it's helium and
yes,
uh,
everything.
naphtha is plastic. You need naphtha to make any plastic product
Yeah,
from
the
medical,
world
medical,
is
plastic things
yeah,
and the helium. Without helium, you cannot make chips.
yes. The thing is just, peaceful world is that everything just goes smooth and just keeps moving. Everything you're gonna stop a chain of 3,000, 4,000 ships that pass through a choke point. All it's gonna take, well, how much is gonna back up those planes now? You know, like you're gonna have to let those ones go, those gonna unload, then you're gonna have to reload the new ones back. You see the traffic that it flows. It's crazy how it stops everything. As the minute you're gonna try to put you try to break a chain or something, the world just is gonna shake really bad. Everybody is just oil, just not just all it because people cannot go. I mean, people can ride bikes or whatever, they'll commute one way or another. But how are you gonna run your industries and stuff? That's the main thing. Oil just doesn't just go in cars and motorcycles. Planes, like how are you gonna fly your plane? Like just so many things, like just all runs on oil. Okay. All right. I gotta go. 11:30.
Oh, Mo, before you go, the earnings season is going to start, next week. So can you take a look at Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan?
I'm gonna run a scanner for you. Okay. Individual charts are really there's not that many. Um, there's some just I played two of them, which is the Broadcom and Amazon. I just barely squeezed them, you know. But weekly rotation is say 25. It's improving, but not as much. Market breadth is, we had a one nice pop, but look, 25, I don't, I mean, we've been running this thing every Saturday. Okay. And we were coming up with what, 15, 16. Now I just went up to like 25. You see? It's just not, the rotation just not there yet. And I'm gonna see it's improving, but barely. Once you will see 60, 70 names, yeah, that's when you're gonna see the whole broad market rally across the board. Right now is a full cherry picking market, to be honest. I'm watching Win Resort. So that's your daily. Okay, so the daily names you have, again, you know me, rotation first, signal second. Okay, no trade without rotation, period. So those signal fails really fast. Okay, so this is weekly. I'll go like this. You can take a screenshot. Hang on, not yet. So then from here, we're gonna run daily. I'm running 500 stocks. Keep in mind, I'm not, so daily is gonna be different names. That's it. 6. I'm telling you these. I know there's some moves are the stocks pops, and then you probably thinking like, oh, I wish I had those. I wish I had those. Well, for trading, I mean, it's not like we're just like completely cash cat, but it's not what I wanted to see. I know what I'm looking for. It's just we don't have it yet. These are bigger, much bigger time frame. Now, if you want to take a screenshot here, that's your screenshot. Here's your weekly rotation. That's your daily confirmed rotation. Now we have to, rotation here is good. Now we need to see like, okay, does the structure support this rotation? Okay, so we can actually just go here on a weekly time frame and we can just simply take these four. So these four has daily conditions. Remember CTA, DoorDash, MU. So this is the same thing we just looked at them here. This one, Syntax dash. This so have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. This one is a 200, not 500. So you probably like one short. So DoorDash is all here. So now we go here. Okay, so what do we have? Ventus right there. So I look at it the daily right there. So swing is up. Okay. Mean reversion band is, so it's going to be a hell of a fight for this thing to play. DoorDash buy signal here. Swing is up. Monday is going to be a defensive day, as you know. 2 down days. It has to fight the third day, right? Otherwise, the swing is going to flip. See, daily is going to have quicker moves, quicker swings. It doesn't mean that they don't pay. Swing is up. KDP put a low here, trying to work his way up toward the sitting right in the mid band. Micron got a huge throw over, making his way back up. Swing is still down. Okay, still not getting 3 days in a row. Starbucks failed swing, made a new lower low, lower high. So we can just do extension here from here to here, sitting right at the 78.6. That's the top of the band. So the point now is like, okay, rotation is there, but look at the move. I mean, now I'm gonna put a risk here to fight that. I'm gonna hold my breath that it's gonna break 78.6. Not every trade is the ideal trade. Look at the band right there. It's like completely going sideways. So this price from here, it has to follow this thing as well. So it's just, no, nothing really that I'm go to the weekly time frame. So weekly time frame, we have Visa. So now we change this thing to weekly. So now we have Visa. Visa put a low here. First higher week, downswing. United Healthcare, buy signal traded here, got two higher bars. So right at the mid. So these are confirmed rotation. What it is like confirmed rotation comes, you trying to play a move from here to here now, as long as this rotation improves. These are the trade setup. Timing band, right? It gave us downside move and an upside move. The upside move from here, once you crosses the mid, the price will be mature enough, and then from here, this rotation right there is going to do the work. Okay, it's a full process. It's not some guessing here. So where is this stock? Right there. There, see? Now there's a rotation right there. You see, it's confirmed. Moment, like whatever I have, I mean, there's this the way, it's good. So now from here, this rotation has to hold. Price has to make a move from here to here to play this thing out. That's it. Signal is doing the work. It's a full process. Rotation first, signal second, and But I look at them all these ones. I just don't jump on them. Uber right there, rotation is good. Rotation is good. Wow, look at that. Swings are dull. You know. So basically, what it is like a lot of time I'm watching this, see the price can show a little bit more strength to see if it can close above this declining band. You see right there. So the price is trading below this band right there. Well, it's under pressure. Rotation, so and then the rotation now is trying to turn, as we can see here. But now we just wait for the structure to build. Same thing with Oracle, you see? Declining band. Price will go like this, see? Turns green. The move will be mature enough that time. And then the swing direction will turn. So I'm taking very selective trades. I'm just not getting too killed over I want to trade every single day. No. CEG right there, bear setup, close the week with the inside week. You have to pay like what I'm trying to show you is a stock is gonna be below this red ribbon right there. Okay, these are like a bunch of moving averages. The price is trading below here, meaning that the price is trading below under this band right there. Time band. When the rotation improve, swing direction turns up, then you make a case for this one. This is the two stage. Phase one and phase two. You have two phases with the mid. Right there, 308. This price right there keeps the price down because the rotation sucks, goes to the weakening quadrant, go to a lagging quadrant, then week after week after week, right? It keep making lower lows constantly, right? So this one right there, you see like this, you take these 4 candles, actually 5 candles. These are all lows. They've been like what, 1 month and 2 weeks, right? So for 1 month and 2 weeks, the price is literally month and a half. The price is making lower lows every single week. So now it's trying to make a reversal, failed here. Why? Because the rotation is not confirmed. Rotation is weakening here. Doesn't mean it instantly is going to go back to the improving, you know? So these are the things that when I try to buy this, I'm focusing on this box or this box, phase one and phase two. But now the thing is this, that some trades that they actually got ourselves dragged into that freaking 8 straight days of meltdown, and then 9 days of those, like those are those running losing streaks, days after day after day. It's just those are like, what the fuck is going what is going on? Like, and then you kind of come across like, why the hell the stock is taking such a straight punishment, like Tesla right here. I mean, I understand that they laid out the delivery numbers didn't come up. Like, what other negative news that Tesla is actually getting? The stock has been down for 8 straight weeks in a row. 8 weeks has been making lower lows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks. See, every week new low. I mean, what happened? Like, I mean, these are the things, like week after week after week. I mean, each week's gonna have 5 days. So every candle here that you see, it has 5 days in there. Is it damn low is gonna hold for the next week at least to bounce or whatever? No, just wait week after week. 2 months, right there. 8 weeks, 2 months. It's down. Many stocks been through this. I remember Amazon went through the same thing, and those are the, like, come on, like, some of these, like, those losing weeks are just crazy. Shorter, like 2, 3, 5 points, pop, boom, falls. It fades. Yesterday volume gonna come in, and it's not even aggressive volume either. Look at that. This is something going on here. Okay, just not very aggressive volume confirming these lows to me either. It's kind of off. 9 RSI is just, something is kind of off. He's either there's no, I mean, I don't know, it's not confirmed. I don't have any access to that. He's either dumping shares of Tesla to buy SpaceX shares ahead of the IPO. He doesn't have cash. Those people think like he has billions of dollars sitting in his account. Yeah, he has millions, but not billions. He has to borrow it. So he borrows against his stocks. So that's he's doing. I think this is exactly what he's doing. Again, I can be wrong. I'm just throwing. That's what I think. Doesn't mean it's going to be 100% right. Is dumping shares. Something is not, because we're getting real close to this SpaceX company, which makes no money anyways. Just to, get the open slots, and he's gonna be all loaded up, and people's gonna go wild like, oh, SpaceX is gonna merge with Tesla, and Tesla 4 years has no growth. You have a SpaceX that makes no money. I mean, I don't know. We talked about that 214 level ending diagonal, so keep that thing in mind really good. And that 278.6 retracements you see for those swings that I showed you earlier. That's the lesson for this stock for this week. You know exactly what to look for. Okay. All right. Financials, I don't have much.
So Mo, why doesn't the Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs doesn't really come up in any of your scan? Can you just take a look at their Hearst cycle, 1 day, 1 week side by side for Goldman and Morgan Stanley? I think their stocks are gonna pop on earnings.
Okay, here's Goldman Sachs. Took a 20% dip off this high right there. as you can see, right? So it took a dip. Now the swing is up because now it has a 3 weeks to the upside. It got a sell signal here at the close. Now the question comes in, is this is an ABC move or is it gonna make a full V-shaped reversal to the upside? Okay, so you want to buy this if you're
What
interested.
about daily? Can you show side by side like you
Yeah.
did for the other one?
It really, I mean, daily is gonna have a shorter swing. So you have a peak to trough, 984, 780 is a low. Stock is sitting exactly at 61.8% retracement. 941 makes the case of 984. If you're bullish on a stock, okay, I don't even know what the rotation is. We can do, yeah, let's do this JPM, this. So daily is all here. Weekly is JP Morgan is the first one is turning around. Second is Bank of America. Goldman Sachs is still down in the weakening quadrant. So JP Morgan is the,
Yeah, the Morgan Stanley.
I have a JP Morgan right here, weekly.
No, Morgan Stanley.
What is it, MU?
No, MS.
Right behind it has a trend confirmation here. There you go, see? Mean reversion here, swing turn up. So you just, I mean, you want to make a case of an all-time high, take a swing high, swing low. Here you go. 61 point, exactly the one like Goldman Sachs. 184 opens 192. Once it clears 192, then we can actually look up further extensions. Everything neutralized right now, basically in the market. That's how I see it. So basically, whatever the initial dip, except for the software names, I'm talking about these bigger names, right? Everything is pretty much flat. They just right go back to the JPM, same swing, 17.2. This one slightly poked above 50. So 315 is a 61.8. So you can do exactly the same thing. Take the swing high and low. There you are. So any bet that you are making now on a financial side is that you looking to make a bet for this V reversal, meaning that this is the next. So for the JPM, okay, your JPM price upside trade is this setup, 315, 325. This is a setup right there. So if this setup goes this, okay, there's your reward. If it goes this, well, now you're gonna get hurt. So which fib that you wanted to set up your strikes? Those are your strike prices. Take a swing high and low. The only thing I do see that I'm watching, but it's just I can do one to test them out and stuff, but XOF is there. I see that, but it's not ready yet. But those moves, they're gonna move. I know it's just gonna be too late to get on a train, right? Look at XLC. It's not good. Not good, not good, not good. I don't like it. Industrials are losing. This is losing. This is losing materials. It's okay. This is fine. This is good. It's a good one. See, consumers, people are more in defensive side. I did the whole thing here yesterday. Right there. XLU turning higher, XLP stabilizing, energy rolling over. Energy, I can see that the momentum is trying to roll over. This thing is rolling over. The market sold off on a rise. Market made a full reversal. This is rolling off right there. What do you think is going to do to the market? Think about it. Industrial weakening, right? Healthcare, holding steady because it's still in a weakening quadrant, hasn't entered the lagging quadrant yet. Financial is neutral. I need blue. Remember the color sequence I showed you before? Blue, when red turns blue. That's when the price, that momentum picks up. That's the trend bar. It's all red. It's I know. Look, I want to buy. You're not the only person who's sitting and like anybody like, hey, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. I mean, and I gotta be a little careful to read what, like Eck, okay, not anymore. But it was blue. See, tech is just it's a trend bar. Its strength is still weak. XLY. Look at this, weak. Communication, stalling. Look, there's no alpha. How close it is to the benchmark. It was trying to creep right there. See, it backs off. This is where all the generals are. Longer and longer this thing sits like this, it's just not gonna open up the scan. The scanner will go. I know it will. There's gonna be plenty of trade that I'm gonna throw on, but I'm just holding off and just taking a very selective shots right now. I know it's just I wanna make a lot of money as well. You're not the only one. But we need some confirmation, at least because regular people, some of you guys, you guys don't even have this access. Think about that. Nobody has access to see scans like this the way that I show you on these stocks. Show me one person. Not these. These are just the regular one. These are scripted scans. Confirms here, then we go try to the signal to see which one has a signal. I can get the same signal. I can take the same thing from here as well. I just make a full profile pretty quick. It's the same scanner right there. Instead of open this, we open a watch list. 25 names. Okay, good. Watch list here. Shrink this thing down. Go to a weekly. Open this layout. Already save this weekly. Boom, done. There you go. The rotation is coming out from the scan anyways. You see, I hunt buy signals from here as well, like this. That's just like took what? Okay. I played this one. We got paid because we're starting to show the rotation is improving. I was like, okay, here comes us. I entered here actually. Probably wait another week or two. And now it's made a move up, and I was like, okay, fine, trade played out. Bank of America is this. You see, not the Goldman Sachs stuff. Bank of America is the mean reversion here. I do cash trades here as well. Coin. This is a full Bitcoin move. See, but the only thing is the the most difficult challenge in the trading world is to fight the price when the direction of the swing is down. That's just a painful trade. But the only thing that everybody wants, either me, is to pay lower price, right? Because we're gonna get ourselves in a trade because it's low. How low, we don't know. What is cheap? The word cheap is just is what just sells everyone, right? Well, I don't want to pay 213, I'd rather pay 163, right? Of course, it's better. 163 is better than 213. But the thing is, this is like you enter here, then I look here, I was like, okay, fine, I'm willing to pay 163. Now I have to cross my fingers, okay, and I hope for the next 2 weeks this direction turns. So I'm paying a bargain price, let's suppose, but at the same time I'm fighting the direction. So which way you want to do? You want to wait for the direction to flip, or you just say like, okay, well, rotation showed, okay, I'm gonna get myself in. Then I'm just gonna sit and hope, wait. That wait could be another month and a half. You see, because you're fighting that flip. That flip is gonna happen. It's gonna take 3 weeks of higher highs. Now, if you want faster flips, then go to a daily. But these are more alpha trades that keeps you in a trade longer. You don't make quick, rash decisions. These are the ones you can ride much longer as well. As long as the direction of the swing is up, swing coin continues for several weeks and months. Look at this from this time, December 12th, down to February 13th. How much time it is? Like any trade can last for a very long time once you start to, but the direction is everything. You know, it's just that's the most challenging part. But then I always call myself this time trade in the direction of the stock, trade in the direction of, sometimes I was like, okay, so screw it. I want to get myself in. I do it sometimes. I'm not saying I'm the Mr. Perfect guy. I make mistakes by making decisions. But at the same time, like when I'm gonna open it, and then I'm gonna say like, okay, I'm gonna put like 2 grand, $2,500 on this spread. I was like, okay, I'm gonna throw in. Should I go 50 delta? Should I cut it down to 30 delta? Then I kind of make adjustments like this. I know that I'm gonna fight the direction as soon as I'm gonna hit this order in. My direction is down, but I want to go up. And how long is gonna take? How long is gonna take? Well, the time is gonna tell. But then you have to draw a time for yourself to see like how far you want to go on time to make the trade work, because the bleed, the theta, is eating you out every single day. Direction is everything. Here's the setup right there. There's the pink music signal right there. See, that two weeks. So there's a potential here. Swing is down. But look at this move. I'm telling you, there's absolutely nothing looks good for me to say. It's not doesn't mean it's going to be the same way. Okay, everything will go right back where it was before. Once I'm going to start showing you, like, the more result. This is a good one right there. So see, this is the 1-2 swing, LVS. Yeah, the third swing is going to be the next, like a 1-2 swing. Well, 1-2 swing. How much they're gonna come down? Well, nobody knows. Okay, let's do this. So we draw a retracement. That's the 50. So we have a cycle bottom at 50. Stock is at 53, right? So we cancel, so any throw over is going to be over 50 on this one. Doesn't mean it has to test it. It can because the swing is down. So now we take this low, this high. I'm not going to go that far. We need to take out this swing high first. Then we'll look higher levels. Look where it failed this week. 61.8, boom, doji. See, weak. Because of this. If this wouldn't be up, price, you know, you don't see many dojis when you have an upside swing. Direction is everything. This is the only here. Oracle. Bearish pattern here, bearish pattern here. See? Bullish pattern here, weak pop. Inside weak, down weak. Bearish pattern, who knows what's going to happen. But look at the price here. You know, it's just not, that's what I'm saying. Like, not every stock is going to say this is good. Synchrony Financial. Rotation confirmed, direction is up. So now this kind of a move like this is what you wanted to buy at the retracement. Any dip toward this area right there, as long as this low holds, and then you enter to go long. You know, there's many ways that you could find, see, like freaking every one of them, I'm gonna just fight this. UNH doesn't look bad, to be honest. Rotation is confirmed. It's just a matter of making this case to 378. What I would do this high. So where this thing is at? So it barely made it to 38.2. 318, 318, 350, 350, 320, 320, 320, 350, I would say. 320 and 350, that's 30, 40, 50, that's a 30-point widespread. The 325 and 350. Yeah, 320, 350, or 325 or 350. Either or one, both can work. Yeah, rotation is confirmed, is working its way up. It's, you have an upside target. It's gonna hit 350. This is the ATR target right there of the next swing up. It just calculates with the based on 4 bars. Like this one right there. Okay, swing down. Visa, swing down. It's not like the rotation, this one turns up. This is the material stuff. Win right there. I'm watching this one. You see, this is a 1-2 as well. LVS, this one, and Win. These are the two as I've been watching the last couple days. Right there, you see? Any rotation that comes to that side, I get interested in that stock. But I need to say like, okay, well, what kind of a read do we have here? You know? Okay, big huge run up. Okay, the current decline is 28.6%. Took 17 weeks. Stock has been puking for 17 weeks in a row. Okay, pull high to low. 23.6, 105, 110, 115. So this, so what do you see here? So this stock is literally moves in a 5-point range. See 110, 115, 120, 125, right? So in order to play this, you have to make like a 5 or a 10-point widespread, correct? So now the price is 104. So make a spread of 105, 110. So 5-point widespread. So rotation confirmed. Now we have this low, We have 1 week. Now we have to wait 2 more weeks for higher high. You see, it takes time, but then what happens is by the time the swing, it can go up until here, right? And then you're gonna say like, what the hell? The rotation was good, right? But I'm getting myself move all the way up here. Now you're gonna pay 120. While you can pay 104. You see the decisions you have to make every day in trading. Should I enter here? Should I wait for the confirmation? When you wait for the confirmation, the move is already done. There's never ever a perfect entry in this trading world. Never will. There never was and never will. Never, it doesn't exist. You can nail a couple tops and bottoms. That doesn't mean it's gonna give you the perfect entry that everybody's looking for. Just doesn't exist. Get that thing out of your head. Fibs are just what the fibs are. Just it gives you price, but the retrace, but doesn't mean that price is gonna has to hit exactly that fib level to the penny. It can fall short, can make halfway, backs off. You just don't know. You just don't know. But we're gonna watch. I'm definitely gonna watch LVS this. So let's see. LVS and Win right there. These two names. Now keep one thing in mind. Whatever's going to happen over the weekend, we're going to find out. Correct? Market will absorb that move probably on Monday or Tuesday. Correct? Then after that, any position that you're going to open, you're going to make sure that you end up taking the earning risk now. Okay? So most stocks, they don't make a wild move as soon as they're getting close to earning date anyways. So remember that as well. You see, like, it's just everything is just, I'm going to stop that video.